And now, The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
It's room.
Already?
I hate to start with a complaint, but it's hot and it is not packed.
Yes, it is.
I mean, capacity.
Odyssey of the Mind.
Yeah. Theater of the Mind.
Damn it.
Odyssey of the Mind was a
It was for
competition
weird
I
kids.
did.
Yeah.
Weird kids?
What?
I was in it like 3 times. Why is that weird
I don't know.
kids?
Odyssey of the Mind, my friend Scott.
Do you think they were just telling us that we were the smart kids? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I don't think it was.
When you get to leave school for Odyssey of the Mind,
Like on one day, right?
1 day a week, but when you got to leave, it was very like play with blocks and color shit and computer stuff.
I never understood what it was, so I just made fun of it. It was
Oh,
always
you were
a thing.
stupid then.
Okay.
You almost made me think that I was stupid.
What,
you
for
were
doing
stupid for
Odyssey
not
of the
being
Mind?
Odyssey of the Mind.
I didn't get asked to take an Odyssey of the Mind.
I had to make a simple machine.
Welcome to the Bonfire, La Bonfire,
The Bonfire.
Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. I am Gross Tet Daniel.
Yeah, and I'm just Gross J. Okerson.
Gross Jokerson. We are live from the Soprano Room C. Capacity crowd of 7 or 8.
That's
Eight?
fine.
Eight.
That's fine.
4, 5,
It's definitely
7.
odd.
7. Yeah, we're just whatever. It's just we kind of knew that we're not doing a live show, but you can come and watch the show live.
A part of you thought, though, earlier today and yesterday when we did it just here in the room by ourselves because wasn't set up for an audience yet, a part of you said, like, but tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be probably pretty nuts, all the people here.
Yeah, but that's also the same part of my mind that when I was a teenager, I was like, I'll probably marry Jessica Alba. That was the same part of my brain where I was like, just gotta bump into her and.
It would be. I just was talking today earlier. Being at this festival always gives you a couple of kicks in the ass. Like, I got to promote things better.
Yeah.
I get asked every week about why do I never come to a place I was at the week before.
That happens so much in my life that they're like, you should put Chicago on the map. You're like, I just left there.
I
2
just
days ago.
retweet, Christine's here, everyone. Capacity Crowd, Christine's here.
Yay, Christine, miserable because it's hot.
Yeah, she got hot, huh? Is it hot in here?
No, I just, when I walked in and saw that there was 7 people here, I was like, I think that I looked on the website. We're not on the website that this is going on.
Well, that makes this shit even cooler.
I think that there's
these guys
I don't
are
think this
fucking.
is people didn't want to come. I think this is people had no idea they could come or how to sign up for it.
I want someone
I wish
here
I'd
to
done
raise their
everything
hand and be
myself
like
normal.
I want someone to raise their hand and be like, no, it's pretty out there. They're flying the hell out of this place. People are actively staying away.
There's words on the street.
I'm like, unless there's only 7 campers in Montreal that would want to come to a free show.
Le
and watch the show
campers.
live.
Look campers. They're not campers. They're look campers.
Jeez.
Like, we don't know what this is. We're not even campers.
No, dude. I mean, you're going more negative than Jade normally
Yeah,
does.
God. What happened?
You're just over in your timeout chair being all negative.
Christine doesn't like an empty audience. She feels like if she got hands on this earlier, that it could have been different. That's what she's going through right now.
This is 100% my fault, and I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
No,
you
not
see how
at
good
all.
she's getting, dude?
Wow,
She's getting
that's
better.
crazy.
She understands
Are you
100%
starting
her
a cult
fault.
family? Are you turning her Koresh?
We finally got her.
Yeah.
It's all her fault.
I did. Oh, I thought.
Yeah,
Like
no,
when
I
I showed
kinda
up and there's
expect-
7 people, I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Little jam sesh.
Instead of Jimmy Carr coming, I'm like, hi, Jimmy, here.
Yeah, but what does Jimmy Carr want? A sold out? That's what the Bonfire is.
Look, Christine, is it your fault? Absolutely.
I mean, if
But
you
does it
up us
matter?
here, they'd
No.
probably be in a bigger room. They'd probably be in the
Thank
theater.
God we're not in a bigger room.
Yeah.
Does this look bad for Jim McClure? Jim McClure's here. Probably wondering where our fan base is.
Jim-
I'll say where they're at. Somewhere with air conditioning.
Why? Oh, I mean, I thought the air conditioning. Is it because of the lights they can't turn on the air conditioning? They're just straight up disrespect. That was a great reaction.
Is this happening?
No, they just fucking. Yeah.
I mean, if this place was packed, it'd be grotesque in here.
I guess we should be thankful. Blessing in disguise, right?
Yes, there we go. You got to see the good in it.
No.
There's
now
7
I'm
of
angry
us.
again.
Why? Come on. If there was too many people, this would get hot and weird.
No, I know. You're right.
Now it's just great. Now it just feels like a
guys
Southern
sitting
AA meeting.
On these regal couches.
Yeah.
These arms are high. I like a high arm, but it's too hard. You're going to throw an arm up this high, you got to pad the shit out of it.
Yeah, you got to break it in. Have something soft.
This thing's straight wood.
So let that be the note for tomorrow. More people, better couches,
Different couches, air conditioning.
or the show doesn't happen. And we're going to be backlit. I want it to look epic. We'll put those lights down there.
Drone shots.
Yeah. And the show will be in French.
Man, my hand's getting gamey on the mic.
Is it?
Yeah.
You have to let go. Like,
Yeah. I gotta change slick hands.
Yeah, just keep changing it up. It's fun that we're gonna walk Jimmy Carr because the room's gonna be too humid.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like,
I hope he doesn't come down in a suit.
Oh man, we'll have him cut right through it like Atticus Finch. Yeah, when I put on one headphone, the headphones are too small too. They're crushing my big head.
Yeah,
but that's my mom's fault for drinking in the second trimester.
No, French they only think all portions are small. Their heads, everything.
What
they don't make big size headphones.
The French Canadian.
No.
That's why I'm gross tet.
Yeah, gross tet Dan.
Gross tet Dan. Big ass head.
Which, if you were listening yesterday, translates to big head.
Yeah, and you're a big Jay Okerson, so you're gross Jay Okerson.
That does hurt.
You know what though? It's all made up for it with the fact that they keep Cadbury mini eggs year round in the stores here.
We lost one of the people who work here took off. He couldn't take it anymore.
He goes, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go take a walk. I'm gonna go watch a guy in a polar bear costume dance in a top hat."
Whimsical French shitty comedy happening outside.
Oh, dude, the worst was I was in this mall and they were having kids do. It was kid French comedy.
Really?
I'm not lying. Graham K will back this up.
They were bringing cigarettes.
They were bringing the kids up. They brought them up to a Michael Jackson song.
No shit.
Just seems a little insensitive.
That's odd.
Seems like they don't really pay attention.
Yeah, it's certainly odd.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Every time a Michael Jackson song, or
one kid killed. I just only heard one song.
Kid killed?
Yeah, I mean, one kid I saw two bombs and one all right. Kids doing it. Didn't know what they were saying.
Don't you want the translation to be something really foul?
Yeah, just dirty,
or just super racist. Not even dirty, just like crazy racist.
Crazy racist, or like super inappropriate. Like, I'm looking forward to fucking my teacher, and you're like, who wrote that joke?
Yeah,
who wrote that joke? Keep it going. And it was.
I got some homework for you, Mrs. Johnson. Au revoir.
I wish I could have had it translated because I wanted to know how they're bringing them up.
I hope it was one of your bits.
Like, you
stole a bit from you?
I go, I fucking know that one.
Yeah.
I know that one in fucking French.
Stolen bits? Fucking kids stealing bits.
I see him do that. He's like, Miss, have you ever... He's doing your act. He goes, Miss, have you...
Oh, we're here for the Little Miss Joke Thief pageant?
Yeah. Oh, this is what they do is they find an obscure comedian on the internet and steal one of their jokes. You go, that hurts worse now.
We always figured that they'll never find out because where are they going?
What are they? Who watches a Comedy Central hour? And you're like, what? We don't... I worked real hard on that.
Damn, man, that was years.
What? And the kids just steal the jokes unapologetically?
So you said you think there's cum on these couches?
Definitely. This room's been rented out by some Montreal sex party.
I wonder if it's always in. Does this belong to the hotel?
Yeah. What do you think? Sirius brought these? Like, we got to rent the truck. Our couches.
No, but maybe they had to rent couches.
I don't know. This feels like this is owned by.
I know. Once I said it, then you backed away because you realized that's reasonable. Also.
Yeah, you go. You know what?
Maybe they could have rented the couches, and you went, "What is this, anyways?" It's
you start doing that thing. You go, "This is definitely
not so bad.
That's custom made."
I would say if I put my weight, seriously, if I'm fucking on a couch, if I'm fucking on top in general, I'm never giving all my body weight ever. So
you would never lay heavy down.
Doesn't matter. That's not the problem. The problem with that, why I'm love my bed particularly, is I'm going to be putting a lot of weight onto very specific points. I'm doing a lot of supporting myself on hands and knees as Christine twister. Shoves things up my ass.
You do a
sounds like I was describing. Yeah. No, but when you're on top, I do, or just like knees, very like.
Yeah, you have to go elbow. You have to put the arms on the weight on the forearms.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, this thing here, when I'm. Let's say girl's on her back, laying across the couch. Okay. Not front forward. And if I'm getting in between her legs, when my knees are scooching in to get in, all that weight on the knee, something's cracking in this.
I think you have body dysmorphia. I think you could do that. You could do that position now. You've lost enough weight.
Oh, maybe in the break we'll try.
Yeah. I'll take my back.
Yeah, you take your back position.
We'll do some gay sex to prove if these couches are sturdy or not.
I actually had a funny idea because also we've never done the show live with people in the audience and live on air.
What?
Never.
We did a live bonfire from the Village Underground.
Live at 6 p.m. We went live?
Yeah, it was one of the first times it was years ago we did a live show.
Oh, yeah, now I remember.
Remember you smoked cigarettes on breaks?
Come on.
Also,
why do you bring up the negative shit?
The last time we were in that room, we were live.
All right. Lou's really piling on back in New York.
I always think it's interesting. I don't know why I thought that we've never had to read like live reads in front of an audience. It seems
Terrified of it. That's all I've thought about all day.
Really?
No.
That's great. Just quip.
I go, hey, Christine, you mind sending me those live reads a little early? Just kind of want to get a jump on
Do we have
them.
live reads today? Where are they? God.
How many do we have?
6.
Oh.
Can you grab all of them and fan me with them, please?
What is the hotel? Has the hotel just been like, we're not turning on the AC?
Yeah, they're trying to flush us out.
You're not even in the program. Are we squatters? Are we just squatting in this room and Jim's like, there's technically nothing there, so they can't do anything?
Yeah. I mean, I guess do the show if you want to do the show.
Yeah. We got Jay and Dan got arrested in Montreal for doing their show against the orders of the hotel.
I'm getting under tit sweat. I feel it. I feel it happening. It's getting in my tank top. It hits the sweatshirt. I'm going to be upset. Jay's gonna be upset.
Jay, I'd say do a tank top show, dude. If you're down to a tank top,
Straight up tank top show.
How are you guys feel
You
about
want to peel
that?
down like Nick Cannon?
7 people, 6 dudes and a girl, and I think all the dudes are on board, and the lady looks
The
displeased.
lady is not interested.
Displeased in the thought of a tank top show.
We don't know what's 1 or 2 or nothing, Christine. This isn't good Jacobing.
Jacob.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Jacob, you're holding on to your job. How do you feel about
Jacob,
that?
Christine says it's as easy as me and Dan just saying in our heads 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that seems crazy, no?
What? I don't understand what you're at.
Christine just handed us 6, Dan? 6 live reads?
Yeah.
6 live reads with there's not a pen number on it that makes me feel safe.
Dude, we're totally getting a couple that has no idea what the fuck we are. This guy's so curious. Come on in. Come on in.
Oh, are they out there?
You son of a bitch. Come here.
I'm going to Instagram the empty room with a shame emoji.
Don't stop it, Christine. Go upstairs and cut, then come back, and we'll get a good clean out.
Yeah.
Go let out the bad.
Get the negativity out if you open up your arm a little. Maybe your upper thigh.
Go drip out some of that negativity. Jay and I decided we're also going to start coming. We're going to start calling coming dripping.
Yeah.
We decided
my drippings were all over the place. Don't you hate when your own drippings get on the inside of your underwear?
Pardon me, miss. I seem to have dripped on your lower back.
But Jacob, what I'm explaining is, I guess that couple was not interested, huh? You actually physically waved them over and they did not come.
Turned around and walked away.
I'm saying she didn't make me feel.
And then
I know.
give you the odds, and then Dan the evens, or I'll swap
Is
it.
that an OCD thing?
No, I just want you to feel secure. I don't know.
Thank you. It does. It does make me feel secure. Now I don't know if I go first or Dan goes first.
Jacob, I'm going to be honest with you. Doing the show in Montreal without you here just feels like I left my security blanket at home.
I know you'd love it here too, dude. It's so hot in the room. You could take off all your inside jackets.
Oh man, you wouldn't be wearing your shawls.
I would.
I heard Black Lou laugh on that one.
You could leave your lambskin lined
It's
fucking hoodie at home.
Disgustingly hot in New York, and I'm telling the 7 new members of our crew. Jacob wears 2 sweatshirts in fucking July. Not this week? Oh yeah. Was this hot enough for you, Jacob?
What if Jacob came in like fucking straight OP, just some jams and a tank top,
That'd be
loose tank
badass.
top?
That would be pretty badass.
Oh yeah. Jacob's hairy muscle chest.
Jacob,
Yeah.
time to do some small talk with Jacob Patat. Was it hot enough for you this week?
Do you want to know a cool story I found out about
That's
myself?
not small talk. You blew it. You blew small
No, you're
talk,
doing
dude.
good.
I don't know how to do small talk. I told you.
I know. I'm trying to train you. Let me be your small talk sensei. Get out. You go, hot enough. Yeah, well, summer's almost over. You're out.
Yeah, and I'll be gone before we'll be in jackets again before we know.
Yeah, there we go.
One more try.
All right, ready? Lou, hit me with it.
I'm actually nervous.
Small talk with Jacob Patat. It's hot enough for you, Jacob?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, dude, that sounds creepy.
I don't know what to do.
Jacob!
I didn't have a second after. Yeah, I tanked. I didn't know what to do after.
Yeah.
Fucking locked up. Dude, Jacob just locked
Yeah.
up. He goes, yeah.
Jesus, that was unsettling.
Yeah, I
Don't
guess.
know how to small talk. Meh.
You sure don't, dude. That was weird.
That was so funny. Yeah. But what were you going to say, Jacob, before that?
The story.
Well, you know, I've been firing. I was in Florida last week.
Yes, hunting iguanas. We know.
Yeah, I got my new guns.
Sidearms.
Yeah, so this is when I was a kid. My mom, her best friend was Josie, and she was married to this guy Kenny, and they would take us. I would go with my mom and them upstate New York, right? And Kenny was like, I found out was like a good old boy from Branson, Missouri.
Okay.
One day, like he took me into the woods.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
this is like before helicopter parenting when
Jacob, there's actually some people here in the audience. I just want you to know that before you say whatever you're going to say next.
No, but so Kenny, I was 6 years old or 7 years old.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Before helicopter parenting.
None of this was your fault.
The fact you can let this out now shows strength.
When a parent wouldn't think twice about letting their child walk into the woods with a grown man and a loaded weapon, as I'm about to tell you.
Dude, that was never, honest to God, there's never a time where that was the case.
Well,
That's never been okay.
It happened to me. So I'm with Kenny in the woods, and he puts a light bulb in a tree, and he goes stand there, and he hands me a .357 Magnum and says, hit the light bulb, shoot it. And, I didn't even know what a .357 was, and it nearly blew me back 5 feet. And he just started laughing, and he said, yeah, man, you didn't even hit the tree. And it turns out, but I loved Kenny, so it turns out he is a descendant of Jesse James. So I
That's
think
pretty
that's where I
cool.
get, the first person that ever put a gun in my hands was a descendant of Jesse James.
You've jerked off to that, haven't you?
I just found out.
Oh, you've been flying high ever since, haven't you?
How'd you find out?
My mom told me. We were
You think
talking
your
about
mom just
Kenny
telling you
and
something to make you happy?
See, that sounds like a mom
I
goosing
can't-
you up.
I can't confirm it. I don't want to know,
Your
but
great
You don't
great
know this?
grandfather was Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, he goes,
That doesn't even make sense.
You don't know this? Billy the Kid was your great uncle.
That's definitely a goosed up mom lie.
Yeah, dude. That's not true. But congratulations for thinking it for a few days.
it's true.
Joining the show, come on in. I mean, this is very casual. There's 7 people here, but we're just going to hire all of them. Please welcome to the show one of my favorite comedians, Jimmy Carr.
Well, I
There you go. How's that for an intro?
mean, thank you very much. I can't believe there's this many people here. For
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And there's no air conditioning. Isn't that pretty sweet?
I mean, I'm liking it. It's
Yeah.
the comedy
Yeah.
podcasting stroke radio.
Yeah.
This feels more like a podcast, doesn't
A
it?
lot of
Feels like there's definitely a
podcasts.
budget.
Yeah, a lot of podcasts and radio shows like to promote, like they have this big fan base and they're making a movement. We're for 7 people
But
specifically.
I like the juxtaposition of we have 7 people and an international superstar. And that's nice. To have
International
where do
superstar. Stop it, you.
Where do those 2 worlds collide?
My I don't know if I told you this story. My grandfather was Jesse James. That was some
What?
wasn't it?
Shut up.
Oh
That
my
was definitely some
God.
bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
That's everyone's-
Oh yeah, our
everyone's
producer
motto.
story. Yeah.
Although I suppose it's that thing of that show. You ever seen that show in Britain? It's called Who Do You Think You Are? And they get a really famous person
Yeah.
and they trace their family tree. They just do genealogy.
They did that. They did that on PBS in America.
So
with
they do
yeah.
it all over the world. It's in every country in the world.
Yeah.
Apart from Germany.
Yeah, they don't want to find that one
In
out.
genealogy is not a big deal in Germany.
Yeah,
it's
like-
like one of those things we go everywhere else. It's like, I'm just going to find out what my ancestry is. Germany, they go, do you know what, I'm fine. I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it's not great.
The only way they can do it is if they go super far back to like the 1600s, where they're like, so that's where we'll start. 1600, that's it.
I like
No
where
one-
I like everyone's roots go back to in Germany to like Hitler. Like just the first Hitler name is not Adolf, and
Yeah.
but there was nothing before that.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the first one.
He was the first one. There
Mark
wasn't-
Hitler.
Mark
Because
Hit-
let's not find out who his parents were.
Yeah. Well, there isn't.
That name is, how bad a thing do you have to do before that name is wiped out forever? Because there must be someone out there who's like a podiatrist called Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
There must
Oh,
be
for
someone
sure.
just going,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to live a life here.
I bet someone-
You did what?
Yeah. Someone accidentally named their kid, like Ted Bundy, like Theodore Bundy, not even thinking about it. And then you're like, oh, yeah, you murdered.
I mean, I think when you're naming things, you have to do that thing of going, all be upstanding for Judge
Yeah.
Big J.
How many?
It's not going to happen, is it?
Judge. I like that you go right to Judge.
Well, it's Judge, and then it's like, can Big J come over and play?
Yeah.
That's good. And I'm going on a date with Big J. And weirdly, with your name, they all sound bad.
Yeah.
They're all
None of it
crushing.
doesn't work for anything. Normally, the name works for one of them.
all the names scare a parent. Either if it's to play, date, or whatever. You're just like, why? What's happening?
Hang on, you can't play at his house anymore.
Yeah, you can't go to Big J's house.
Did you ever have that as a kid that you can't play at his house?
Yeah, my friend got sent home because we got caught prank phone calling.
No, did you ever have it because My mom, I said, had me at 19. So again, remember my mom being in her mid 20s. Sometimes I couldn't play at someone's house because my mom was in a fight with their mom.
That's really funny. So
like a 20-something-year-old girl fight.
Right.
Like you're a fucking bitch.
Well, your
And
kid
then,
ain't hanging out with my kid.
yeah, and let's go. And there's two little kids going, all right, bye.
I think we're all thinking it. I think the subtext is, I think your mum probably fucked the husband.
Just fuck the husband. Maybe
Probably.
my mom.
I mean, it sounds. I
Can
don't want to
tell you
be a dick
something,
about
Jimmy?
it, but
I don't want to. I love my mom, but I will tell you that my mom, in my lifetime when I was a kid, coming home from a grocery store, she had to drop the bag of groceries she was holding to fight with a woman in the streets who said that my mom. Now she was a crazy lady, like a crazy. They called her the cat lady neighbor. She was nutty.
Sorry,
But
is this
she
your
fought
mother
my
or-
mom. No, the other lady. She fought my mom, and my mom won. Tiny.
Put
too.
down groceries and beat the shit out of her.
your
She
mum
let-
beat the cat lady.
Beat the cat lady.
I mean, that's great because when you're fighting crazy,
Yeah.
you really got to put down crazy.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a woman.
yeah, for
you
sure.
have to. You can't just. You're
Yeah,
not going to
it's
win
not-
on points with
You meet
crazy.
a guy in the street with one tooth and a bag full of cans. Like, what do you have to do to this guy to stop him? He's got nothing to lose.
He has to
Yeah,
go to
he's
sleep.
going
He's
hard.
got the one tooth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my
So she beat the
mom,
cat lady.
she fought this lady, and then my mom said it was about that she was. But I kind of remember she was screaming at her about like taking her imaginary boyfriend. But my mom had point being, my mom's been in a fight for someone at least thinking she was fucking their husband before.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you there? Were you?
I was right there. Yeah.
You watched her put down the. Did she? She didn't have you hold the groceries.
How old were you at the time?
Man, maybe like 7 or 8.
7. And were you? What height were you at that stage? Because you're. A big
I don't
guy
know.
now.
I'm not sure. It wasn't that I was too big. I was holding groceries, and I think I was more worried about dropping food than helping my mom. She was fine.
Did she
Scrappy
clearly?
bra- scrappy
Did she
bra from
dominate?
Philly.
Did she dominate the fight? Like the second it started going, were you like, and I don't gotta worry.
I think I don't have any fear of being like scared for long in that situation. So it must have been very quickly that she just got the upper hand. I think.
Wow. It's like the old. You know that old joke of the. It's a Les Dawson joke about. I was walking down the street with my wife, and I saw my mother-in-law, and she was getting beaten up by 6 men. I mean, beaten, bloody. And my wife said, "Aren't you going to help?" And I said, "Well, 6 should be enough."
That's great. That's a great joke. Yeah, that is. That's.
Have you?
Is that in my head, or can you hear that?
You
Too?
know what? We didn't hear anything. It's just in an empty room.
What do you mean?
We just come in here to make Jimmy feel crazy. There's
Oh,
nothing.
no, don't gaslight me. Oh, no.
You just walking out. You're like, I think I killed, but also the room felt small. The room felt very light.
Have you did or have not seen your mom or dad get into a fight before?
No,
I've seen
but
my dad road
I've-
rage before. Definitely.
I've never been. I've been able to, or I had to stop hanging out with a friend because my mom and her mom got into an alcoholic fight, like an alcoholic argument.
That's great.
And then she's just like, "You're not allowed over." Oh, and one of my friend's dogs bit my face, so I couldn't hang out with him anymore.
I always wondered what happened to your face.
Yeah, a dog fucking
snagged
grabbed it, and then my mom took him to court, so that's why we couldn't hang out anymore.
Were you on Judge Judy? What?
Oh, no, it was just straight up insurance court
Wow.
in Aurora,
And did you get a-
Colorado.
did you
Got
get a
sweet
payout?
settlement?
How much did you get? How much?
$30K.
For a dog biting your face.
48 stitches on my face when I was
Really?
Yeah, when I
Where,
was 6 years
where
old.
were the stitches? Where were the?
There was like it started right
Oh,
here,
yeah.
and then it went all the way down here.
Look at that dog boy.
Yeah.
I mean, you really cannot see. Whoever the surgeon was,
Plastic
did not-
surgeon. My mom worked in insurance, and the second I got taken to the ER, she knew doctors in the area, so she called her doctor friend. She's like, "Who's a good plastic surgeon?" Why are you doing the jerk off then?
Oh,
Yeah,
because
she
your mom
knew-
was giving hand jobs. Doctors fix face good.
She goes, "I'll suck you off.
Yeah.
Make
Listen,
my baby look all right."
yeah, I'm gonna ski pole you guys, and then you get in there and help my boy.
Yeah, they did. I remember them shooting Novocaine into my face.
Wow.
Like, super close to my eye.
What age were you? 6?
6, yeah, right before
my
Christmas.
my first memory is a spinal tap. I think that might explain a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I got a spinal tap age 3.
That's your first memory.
Yeah, that's I can't remember, and I don't think you should be able to remember that far back.
Yeah.
And it's not really a memory. I don't think you really remember stuff from then. You remember remembering.
Yeah,
and it kind of changes every time. So you remembered it when you were 6, and then you retold the story, and you remember it when you were 9.
Yeah.
What else we got other people jumping up.
We got it.
we're fine. Let's get
But yeah, a spinal tap going in. You remember that. You
Yeah.
remember like the needle going in your back.
Yeah. Oof.
Because I remember them. They had to hold my head because I was 6, and I was like,
Yeah.
they were trying to give me Novocaine on my next to my eye.
Pussy.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's not what Dalton did at Roadhouse.
I know. Santa didn't visit me that year because he said I was a pussy.
No local anesthetic. Pain don't hurt.
I got coal in my stocking. What if my mom was that mean? She's like, you pussed out on that
I
surgery.
picture,
table.
Jimmy, your parents were very prim and proper, but it's probably just
No,
me being
they
an idiot.
were Irish. They're from Limerick, a town in Ireland called Limerick, which is also known as Stab City.
Stab City?
Stab City because it's incredibly violent. Also,
Yeah.
it has the reputation for being incredibly violent. So they're from there. They're kind of dirt poor Irish, generation or two away from being gypsies.
Yeah.
So not as fancy as I would appear. I'm well educated, but I also grew up.
You
in
come
Slough.
from gypsies?
Yeah, I grew up in Slough, which is The Office. You ever seen the
Yeah.
Office? It's kind of that.
Okay.
So it's a really kind of it's.
I have a
not
feeling
quite-
now that if you take off that suit, you're going to be like a Yakuza, and you're just covered
Just
in
covered in
ink.
crazy
like
tattoos.
like Brad Pitt and fucking
I had,
Snatch.
I had a joke. I don't know whether this is going to work, but it's in the. I'm going to put it in the new show. I'm thinking about getting a tattoo like on my forearm, like quite a prominent big tattoo, just saying R.I.P. Dad, but that cunt refuses to die.
You can't kill your greatest enemy.
I think it's a really fun idea for a joke.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll see if it works.
I say you just get the tattoo. Just
Yeah.
go full go.
Jimmy, you're I think you've been to this festival every year I've been here, and far beyond.
I absolutely love it. I think it's that thing where I get invited back, but partly I think it's because I kind of go to everything. Like
Yeah.
I go and see a lot of shows. I saw Beth Stelling last night.
So
I saw,
funny. Did you see that
Brad Williams.
Japanese guy leave?
Oh, that was unbelievable.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
happened?
Best Stelling was opening for Brad Williams.
So we're in Cleopatra, where you're doing which is my favorite
Sure.
show last year, the
Crowdwork show.
Yeah, that's Saturday
What's
night.
your fucking deal? Is that what's
Yep,
your
What's Your
fucking
Fucking Deal?
But so we're in there. Beth is opening for Brad. She's on stage, and the room is packed. Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And she's how far into the set?
She did a 10-minute set. She was 5 minutes in, but it was a specific joke that bucked this guy because I
What was
watched
the
it
gag
happen.
that-
So he just walks up to the manager. I'm standing at the stairs, the backstage stairs, and this old Japanese guy just walks up and he's like, you can't understand him. And the manager's like, oh, you want to go downstairs? You're trying to go to the strip club downstairs. So he thought, because the Cafe Cleopatra is above a strip club, and it's a strip club sometimes.
So I mean, Beth had walked on in dungarees. I mean, basically the outfit of Super Mario.
Yeah, she looked like
dungarees
Super
and a
Mario.
red shirt, and he thought, oh, well, okay. I mean, there's it takes all sorts.
I could be wrong about this. It might be more insulting than you think, because I believe upstairs is a trans bar.
Yeah. Well,
So
this guy was in
He
it.
thought she was a trans, and he was upset when she didn't drop her Super Mario outfit and reveal her girl dick.
Well, she does this joke
Is
about.
it, I mean, I know I'm not up with all these political correct terms.
Sure.
Girl dick is a term now, is
They're
it?
cool
Girl
with it.
dick.
It's kind of weird. In the U.S., they're cool with it. You would
Chick-
think they're not with it.
Yeah,
but
you
they
would
are.
think so. Yeah, chicks with dicks. No,
Yeah.
it's a dude with tits.
Girl with it.
Dude, that's-
But what's funny is Beth has a joke about getting eaten out in the bathroom and like how guys can get blowjobs in bathrooms. She's like, if I want to get eaten out, I have to go get the koala station. It's a really funny joke. But she
amazing,
basically talks about taking her overalls off. And then she's like, that's the joke. So when she's done doing that joke, that Japanese guy was like, they're not coming off.
Didn't hit it.
Yeah, she disrespect my boner. And then he just walked downstairs and was like, there we go.
He just walked out angry.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe
Is
it.
that too good an impression
It's-
of a
it's a
Japanese
South
guy
Park.
to be? Because it feels to me like that's a specific guy.
Yeah, like that
isn't like
that's
a
what I want
generic-
you to think. It's
Yeah.
not a generic. It's him.
Yeah, it's him.
It is it's a worn out traveler who wants to see. What did you call it? Girl dick.
Girl dick. It's man, a strip club audience is still. It's great people watching. But I never want to go. But it's always such a bizarre like.
I suppose it's that thing where you're kind of looking the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
If you're watching the stripper, you go,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, fine, some boobs, but who's watching this? Who are the groups of people? What's the dynamic?
You
'Cause
Reggie
I always
McFadden.
find like guys standing around going, should we go to a place? There's beer,
Yeah.
and we'll all have boners.
Yeah.
And we'll all know that we have boners, but we won't discuss our boners. Sound great?
Yeah.
Hey, let's add on
Do
to
you
that.
enjoy blue
Let-
ball? Do you enjoy blue balls?
But
Yeah,
also-
I mean, we'll look at stuff that turns us on, but no one's ejaculating. Up for that? Maybe just 2-3 hours of it. What?
But then you see which one of your friends is the most business savvy that gets it all the way. The
But you
friend that
take-
comes back is like, I fucked, and you're like, how did you do that?
Take all those things into consideration, and then add in that they're open at like noon, 1 p.m. sometimes. So do all those things like while it's still daylight out is so bizarre. To me.
I've never thought that in the middle
A
of the day.
breakfast buffet.
Yeah, I've gone to a lunch buffet in Montreal. Joe List was like, let's go to a strip club buffet, and we went.
A strip club buffet.
And here's the thing you don't think about the afternoon dances. They're there they're in the dance. They care. They know that you're going to be their only private dance.
Yeah,
in the
but their
afternoon.
downtime looks way too casual. It's really just like they look bored as shit, have on wireless headphones.
afternoon strip club hangs.
Well, the lack of professionalism in downtown strip clubs at lunchtime. Let's table this motion. I think maybe a political party could. This could be our ticket.
You guys got to run on this.
This is what we.
I don't know if the Canadian government's got a glimpse of this yet. No, to even know what's going on. They, I think they shut down a bunch. Did you ever go to one up here? I went to one.
Yeah,
once because you're supposed to go.
I went for lunch. That was a thing in 2012.
Right. Fucking baked ziti. Nice baked ziti from a strip club.
That's exactly what we had.
Of course it is. That's what every gross thing that you go to where there's not supposed to be food.
I thought that was on the menu.
Yeah.
No idea.
Anything where there's supposed to be food, where they say there's going to be food at something sexual, it's 100% of the time baked ziti and a big tin of dinner rolls.
Yeah.
And pats of butter. I've gone to a swingers party and seen that before. Strip club buffets. It's such a bizarre.
That's a fun diners, drive-ins, and.
What was the swingers party? What was the? Is there a story? Is there a?
No, it's not that. My ex-wife was bartending. Got asked to bartend at it, so she was able to go. You can go fully clothed, and they let me go because I was like picking her up after my shows in the city.
Were you bar backing?
No, I just kind of they let me kind of just peer around. Like as weird as that sounds, they let me just do that, and it was an odd night for sure. However, there was in fact a baked ziti buffet and like a bowl of Parmesan cheese with a spoon, just all kinds of things.
Were people dressed or in robes going through?
I don't want to be judgy, but the fact that you went to a swingers party and your only note is on the buffet and the lack of quality in the buffet says more about you than you know.
Yeah.
There was a
your
guy.
Priorities in life.
I'm sorry.
Went to a swingers party. How was it? The food wasn't great.
Yeah.
We were just talking more
Service
about the
could have
buffet.
been better.
Yeah.
The swingers party. Have I told this on the air before when the guy was banging the girl on a couch and everyone's in a circle?
The couch that probably looked exactly like this.
Very similar couch. And then on one of his heavy, like long pullouts, most of the crowd noticed that his condom was covered in blood, and the whole crowd was going like, "Yeah, woo!" woo. And just went, "Oh!" Like there's that record scratch moment, and everybody went, "Ah!" And
a little ketchup on the hot dog.
and then someone went over.
Went too hard.
Someone went over and whispered to them what was happening, and then they just. 40 people in a circle watching, and they tried to do like a casual walk-off, like not all attention was on them. They just like stopped fucking. We're like, "Hey, we're gonna get water around here or something." Yeah.
They go,
And just
"Oh, how
walked
long you
off.
guys been here?" Enough to watch you fucking bleed on that dude.
And then watching those two go through they weren't a couple even. They like were coupled with other people, just fucking on display, I guess. And everyone, the rest of the night though was fun to watch individually. The two of them get more and more like shamefully hammered, and just like the girl ended up like puking publicly. The guy was like in like a fetal position shell like against the wall. But the ziti was dry. To answer the question,
I love the fact
the
he's
ziti
telling
was
this,
dry.
He's telling this story in the third person, which I think is adorable.
And then he threw up.
You go, "Oh no!"
Sure. Then he threw up. And what did you think when he went home to bed? Did he have a cry? Do you remember
I think
if he had
that he
a cry?
cried.
He goes, he woke up the next day, made some pretty decent waffles.
The next day he called his mom though, and she always makes him feel better, I guess.
What were you there when the lights went on at the swingers party? Like when they were like shut everything down, last person leaves.
Yeah, absolabsolutely.
That's got to be a weird like hit the lights.
The
and
last
everyone's like,
Hit the lights. Is it one of those blue lights from CSI? And you can see it from space. It's like Vegas.
Yeah, come everywhere.
Last person in the locker room, Hasidic Jewish guy and his hooker.
Cool.
Oh.
That was the last two people. You know what? First is the party, last to leave. I mean, they give 110%.
That's the outlier theory. Get your Malcolm Gladwell on. Be the best. Be the best at showing up at a swingers
Yeah,
party.
10,000 hours. That's it.
Yeah. Go in, show up, fuck, and stay till everyone leaves.
You talk to a lot of porn stars and or prostitutes. They will tell you the Hasidic Jews get down when they're. That's what the Jew. I'm Jewish.
I did a gig last year in Israel and had maybe the best kind of opening heckle. I get heckled a lot because I encourage it. I like people to join in.
Sure,
It's fun. So walked on stage in Tel Aviv and a guy shouted, it's like a room of 2,500 people. He said, how's it feel to be the only guy in here with a foreskin? Before I got to the mic.
That's great.
But
That's a hard sentence to get
with
out.
such clarity as
Yeah.
well. Like without me being there, people are clapping, they're excited, and then such clarity, and you go, that's just
Perfect.
Just-
Walk-off home run.
perfect.
Well, the way to say that right out the gate. How's it feel? I mean, he knows he's coming in.
Yeah.
It would have been great if you were like,
I think the best
sorry,
heckle
bud.
I ever heard. I don't think heckles at comedy shows count because no matter how funny it is,
Yeah.
we're like, if something happens on Saturday night, late night in Cleopatra's, you're doing a crowd work show, you're expecting some funny shit to go down. I mean,
Sure.
like minimum, we're going to have a lot of laughs, right? It's
Yeah.
100%. It's a lock. But sometimes when it's a sporting event, I saw a thing at it was Queen's Club.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm big into tennis. It's my thing. Right?
Sure.
So I was at the tennis. It's the Queen's Club. It's before Wimbledon, and it's about 18 years ago. And a British tennis player, who shall remain Tim Henman,
Okay.
and he's a great player, and I like him. I met him a couple of times. He's a good guy, and he was playing terribly.
Okay.
And you know when they do that thing when they're in this is I don't know what sports you follow, but in proper men's sports like tennis, they come in and have a little sit down and half a banana and think about what they've done at the end of their set.
That's,
because
it's classic in American
they're
football.
gladiators. They're gladiators.
Yeah,
So
we
they
call
come
those
in,
potassium timeouts.
They have a little sit down and they think about what they've done and they have a little drink of orange squash and then they come back out and play. Anyway, he was walking in and someone, not me, another guy in the crowd, shouted, "There's a bit of shit at the end of your racket." And he looked. And the guy went, "Not that end." And it was so perfect.
Oh, I mean, to get him, that's almost like, it's funny to have a heckle that has a tennis reaction. You know, where you're like, not that. Like, you fucking, he like got him 3 times. He's like, "There's shit on your racket." No, not that. And you're like, fuck. That would make me crumble. I'd be like, fuck it, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's when they've got the confidence to do something where you have to react in a certain way for them to bat it. Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's the setup and spike.
I said the heckle coming from someone. The tough one I always play is getting heckled from someone in a wheelchair, and not even heckling is the wrong term for it. When I've like not noticed that before at a crowd work show, especially after crowd work shows where you're in it with them already.
I got a friend who's a singer who did the. I mean, you talk about fucking up. He was doing a big gig, like a stadium-sized gig.
Sure.
And he was playing like a big hit of his. And he said, "I want everyone to stand up. Everyone stand up, like get in the crowd. Oh, everyone stand up. You, hey." And he looked over to the left, and he thought it was like the corporate boxes, which it was the corporate boxes. And then it was the, "You fucking stand up. Why are you not standing up? Why are you not standing up? Oh, hang on." And like someone literally had to sort of shout from the side of the stage, "Yeah, they can't stand up."
That's happened.
And then you go, fuck. I had one where I was bombing.
That exact thing happened to Sal from Practical Jokers. It was like a stand up, and like now it's like a joke like that. That person they did it to, it's become like a joke, and he shows up to shows. They have shirts that say,
great.
"I'm in a wheelchair" or something, or "I can't stand up," whatever it was. But that happened where you're like, "Oh,
I was in.
it must be immediately deflating."
When I was in Rochester, they have very bright lights on the stage, and I'm looking and I saw the blue screen, and I was like, "Come on, man, get off your phone. What the fuck are you doing? Get off your phone. You're at a comedy show." So I was all like, "Well, you can't put your phone down." I listen, I'm doing all those jokes. Then after the show, it was a quadriplegic, and that was his computer pad, which how he moved around.
Come on, you asshole! Pay attention
and
to
I'm
the
like,
show.
"Yeah,
you
God," and it
freaky
was
weirdo.
like,
I had
his nurse was like, "Sorry, I couldn't turn it off."
I had Stephen Hawking came to my gig in Cambridge.
What?
Well, he was a friend of mine, and
Yeah.
he came to the gig in Cambridge, and and I had in the show like 5 jokes about Stephen Hawking on that tour. Weirdly, I had like a couple of lines with a few toppers, and then I wrote another topper, and then we were hanging out, whatever. So I had another story about him. And my thing is always like, if you have the joke in the show and the person the joke is about is in the audience, you can't drop the joke.
No, you have to do the
then-
joke.
have to
then
do
it
the
looks
joke.
well, 'cause then it
So
looks
do the
like you
joke that-
think it's mean.
Yeah.
But the offence on behalf of him, but I know he had a great sense of humor, and the people I was always telling him jokes about himself, and the people around him though were like, "Is this? Can we?"
Yeah.
It's like the offence on behalf, like when you have, there's some guys in it's Ipswich that I play where 2 tetraplegics come. Like,
Yeah.
people in wheelchairs every single show.
Sure.
But tetraplegics, it's unusual because normally those people are fucking locked in. It's awful.
Yeah.
And when they come out, it's like, fucking hell, this took real effort.
Yeah.
It's like 2 carers and the whole thing is like a big palaver for them to get out, but they come out but in Ipswich, they're in the front row and they're in beds.
Yeah.
And it's just, and any jokes about disability is like, there's a weird reaction of people kind of going, are they? Yep, they seem
to
fine.
see if they're laughing. Yeah,
It's almost like a splash wall.
Yeah.
They're like, it like goes up, and they're like, "Is that all right?" There is that's got to be a thing where my friend was a waiter, and he was backstage with Colin Quinn, and Colin Quinn has a Bruce Springsteen joke, and there was like a benefit show, and Colin went up and opened with his Bruce Springsteen joke, which I like because I was like, he didn't have, you know what I mean? And it's him calling Bruce Springsteen a phony. So the fact that he did that, I was like,
you have to just steer into it.
You want? Did I tell you my Bruce Springsteen story?
no.
Okay, so I did this thing at Radio City Music Hall last September, I think it was. It's like a benefit for the American servicemen. And it's like, it's unbelievably fun. You kind of go there, and it's like a bunch of guys that have been horribly injured in the war and have got the greatest attitudes of anyone you've ever fucking met in your life.
Yeah.
And Bruce Springsteen's been doing it the last 10 years with his family. They've raised, I don't know what it is, like, it's so much money. But it's like 4 comics and Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they let me play it this year. So it was like Seth and I'm trying to think, even Jim Gaffigan and Jon Stewart. Like, it's a great lineup. And me and some British bloke for 10 minutes. Okay, great. So the evening's really fun. Bruce Springsteen is headlining. Super excited. I get to the venue. It's the Radio City Music Hall, but it's not the big room. It's the smaller, like the 4,000 seater or whatever is downstairs.
Okay.
5,000 seater. So walk in, they say, the dressing room's upstairs, screen room's on the left, and I walk upstairs and I walk into the green room, and it's like all like beers and stuff, you know, the way they kind of lay out those tables with all the snacks and beers and drinks and things, and I see a guy in double denim looking at something on the wall, and I walk in and it's Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And I walk in, I grab a water, and I go, oh, hey, I'm Jimmy, I'm like a British comedian. I listen to your Desert Island Discs, and it's this show. You can get it as a podcast where you pick your 8 favorite records. And I did the show about a month before that, and I listened to his, and it was like a game changer. And it's so beautiful. And he picks the 8 best records in the world, and and we had a chat about it for about 20 minutes. Well, I just went, I really thought your choices were interesting on Desert Island Discs. This, the Broadway show, this record. What's the Thunder Road? What's that about? Just asking lots of questions. So hanging out in the green room with Bruce Springsteen. And as I'm chatting, I'm kind of getting comfortable, and I sit down on the thing, and I notice on the door, the door's open, it says Bruce Springsteen. I went, is this your dressing room? And he went, yeah. I went, should I go? And he went, yeah. 20 minutes in. 20 minutes of just listening to this insane English guy.
I love it.
You thought you were in a common area?
I thought I was in the fucking green room. I thought it was like, cool. And he was very nice about it.
I love that the water pickup. He must have turned around and been like, what the hell's this guy doing?
This guy's got some confidence.
I like seeing the sign being like, is this like a thing?
Is this you?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, the green room's over there. Oh, right. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah.
So then the rest of I had to double down on it and was incredibly rude to him the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So every time I walked past, and he was like, I was going, what songs are you doing?
Yeah.
And he went, how many songs are you doing? 4. Have you got 4? You got 4 good ones?
Yeah. I'm a petty guy. I'm a
Maybe
Tom
do
Petty guy.
some, maybe do some covers.
His
Play something we know.
perspective of that is literally when he tells a story, he goes, some chimney sweep comes in and goes, I'm a British comedian, I like your Desert Island thing. I was scared for my life. So.
He goes, I finally thought the ticker went, and that was my guardian angel. Thought he was going to tell me my life story.
I think he thought I met a mentally disabled man.
Yeah, you just walked in and you go,
I was super nice
I'm
to
your
him.
best friend now, Bruce. Let's talk about the music you're doing to Desert Island.
I can't recommend that show highly enough, actually.
I'm actually going to download it.
The Desert Island Disc, his one is phenomenal. But you go back through the archive and everyone has done it.
Really?
Like, you go back and like Anthony Burgess did it. I mean, like, everyone has done it.
Do you remember yours?
What, the songs that I picked?
Yeah. It's songs, or is it
it's
full
songs.
albums?
It's 8 songs.
8 songs.
And it's really. I changed them all like the week before because I picked like the coolest songs. I did the kind of dick thing of like picking the 8 coolest songs from the last 40 years, and then the week before went, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm going to pick the ones that I like.
That's what you gotta do.
That's it. That's what I say. I wouldn't go for cool songs. I would go songs that make me happy, even if it's as stupid as like Hungry Eyes from Dirty Dancing. Like, it's just got to be, if it's 8 songs.
Hungry Eyes? I get it, you got to lose a bit of weight, but really, Hungry Eyes?
Yeah, also my eyes are hungry.
Yeah. You're getting you ready for your fasting on the island, on the desert island.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
keep my eyes
fasting on the
hungry.
desert island?
Yeah, well, if it's desert island, you're going to be starving.
Oh, yeah, no, sure.
That music's going to have to get you through. You got nothing about food. I don't know anything about
Spear
food.
fishing? Which one of us would ever pick up spear fishing? None of us. We'd die.
There's not a chance I'd get spearfish.
So you listen to 8 songs?
You know what, though?
It should be called 8 songs to starve to death, too.
I'm gonna
basically what you do.
learn how to spearfish. I'll tell you, because I'm never climbing a tree for anything.
Ever.
There's not a chance. I'll just never figure that out.
Just a fat nutsack of coconuts.
Yeah, just get my feet. I can't turn my feet in
You
sideways.
think you're worried about climbing the tree? What about that
The tree.
Yeah, the tree's like, is he just trying to tear me down? What's happening?
He goes, this tree just starts shaking off coconuts. I'm sorry. Just take them.
I was like that. They always use that as the fact, don't they, when people go, if you ever try and go in the ocean, we went to Hawaii on holiday, and it was a vacation, you would call it. I mean, unbelievably beautiful place, can't recommend it enough. But went there, and they were like, you talk about sharks.
Yeah.
We had the thing where they always kind of quote that fact, well, more people get killed by falling coconuts. Well, that's also a day. I'll worry about that as well. It's not going to make me worry less about the sharks. I'm just adding that to the list.
Oh, great. Now we got a whole thing going.
We went there. We went to Maui, and we were staying there that 4 seasons, which is unbelievable. And we were chatting to like some cab driver. Are there any shark attacks here? You know, because we just got back from Australia. Any shark attacks? And the guy went, sharks. Yeah, shark. I know, I've heard of sharks. It's like Big Fish, right? Big Fish. Jaws, the movie. Right, am I right? Is that the right area? And he was properly like, oh yeah, no, I've heard of sharks. And then we asked the receptionist, and they went, shark bites. I think that's a myth, isn't it? Does that really happen? Googled it. 8 in the last 6 months.
Oh,
like the locals are so locked into this is our industry. They're going.
That's so funny. They go.
A guy went out and was like had his leg over the side of the boat as he was fishing. Just yoink, leg off.
Shark attack. Is sharks like in water?
She goes.
My friend had a joke. My friend Sean Locke had a great joke about, sharks will only bite you if you're wet.
If you know that, but
true story.
Then we talked about the other day with when people say you punch a shark like to make it go away, and I'm like, who can punch you can't punch
underwater?
in water. I think your punch is coming in so meanwhile a shark can just snap completely super fast at you. I couldn't understand how you could put any pressure.
I think probably the running in a zigzag would work just as well. Run in a zigzag.
I was going to climb up a ladder.
I think
that would work.
You maybe get the hell out of Dodge.
Climb a tree. I mean, all of that stuff is just the lunacy of that going.
I just love that they're
advice.
Like, nah, you're good.
You can send you out there, yeah.
Do you want to? You're just at a meat suit rental place. Like,
better to ask for forgiveness for you losing your legs than permission to send you out to lose your legs.
Who's going to blame you? It's the shark did it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't blame another person in a shark bite.
I'll tell you what, the coconut thing would be.
You watch the Michael Jackson documentary?
Yeah, of
course, over and over again.
And afterwards, people are saying, those parents were the worst. Those parents, I blame the parents. I blame the parents. I go, I think Michael Jackson has a little bit of blame. I mean, those parents weren't great, but also...
They cooked a meal, but he ate it.
Yeah,
that's a very good analogy.
They set it up. Yeah. They set it up, and Michael Jackson was like, just a little.
But it is bizarre to have parents agree. We're like, no, you gotta stay in the other wing. Me and your boy gotta be in here spooning. And that was the okay part. Like, you're just gonna cuddle with my son? Nothing gay, right? And you're like, no.
When they sent the family to the Grand Canyon and just left Michael alone with the kid, you're like, how is that?
Yeah, but he sent him to the Grand Canyon and was like, now figure out how to get home. It was like he dropped him off somewhere far away.
There's the thing, right? If I was a billionaire pedophile, and I'm not, I should probably state that publicly.
Yeah.
I'm not a billionaire pedophile, but if I was a billionaire pedophile, I'd have a fun fair in my back garden.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do being that you are a millionaire pedophile? Now, how do you navigate that?
Yeah, it's not much fun. You can dream.
Do you have teacups?
Dream big.
Huh? Is it a smaller carnival ride? A more accessible carnival ride?
Yeah, less fun animals in your backyard.
He has a fun house, and it's mostly dry fucking, but the snacks are decent.
The snacks are solid. Yeah, that documentary was rough. That was a rough one.
It really is. It's a weird thing, isn't it, where you know something, and I felt the same about that Chernobyl show. Did you watch that Chernobyl show?
Yeah.
Where you kind of think, I know what happened in Chernobyl. There was an accident, and people got hurt, and then it's a bad thing. And then you watch the documentary, and you go, you watch the show, rather, and you go, it's much worse than I thought.
Yeah, they keep sending people
Michael
back.
Jackson abused children. You kind of go, okay, I'm not going to think about it, la, la, la. And then the guy tells you the detail, and you go,
Yeah, it was the only one
I
also.
can't unhear that.
We were told about R. Kelly for a long time, and he just kept making hits, and it wasn't making headlines anymore, and it kind of went away. And then he 10 more years, this guy got to go and do horrible things, at least 10 years.
Yeah.
But the Michael Jackson documentary, you watch part 1, and you go, can't get worse than that. And then part 2, you're like, what the fuck? Why are you making this worse?
Is it odd that these expose shows get nominated for Emmys and stuff? I find that very weird.
I chat to a friend who's a great documentary maker about, Louis Theroux?
Yeah,
he's great
one of my favorites.
Great so I had lunch with him a couple of weeks ago, and I was chatting about the documentary. He said I said really heavy, and he was saying, I was saying, I think it could have been an hour. I don't think it needed to,
No, it
because
didn't.
they really teased out the length of it, and you kind of go, why is it so long? Because it's a hard watch.
Yeah.
I'm never going to watch it again.
Me neither.
It's
No,
like you're
yeah,
never going to.
you make it through once and you're like, it's exhausting.
When Louis makes a documentary, Louis Theroux, you kind of go. I watch those every 5 years.
I've watched his with the Westboro Baptist
He's just
Church
done the
a
new one.
bunch.
Have you seen the new one?
No, with who?
Unbelievable. With the Westboro, he won.
He did
back.
another one.
It's so fantastic.
Oh, man,
I mean,
he's the best.
he's just. It's a wonderful because it's.
I
that
love him
thing
because
where
he asks questions like, but he's
got a
always kind of
stillness.
puzzled. But he's honest. Like he speaks his mind. Like I do appreciate
He's
that.
just terrific.
Yeah, he's you watch any of his stuff ever?
Yeah, but I've seen the first one. I didn't know there was a second one.
He
for
went
West
inside.
Baptist.
Well, I mean, he went inside the mega jail thing at one point.
Yeah.
That was good.
The so neo Nazis. He did a great one about eating disorders and anorexia recently.
Yeah.
Which was, it kind of told a slightly. It was just like more detail, more to understand. I mean, obviously we do jokes about everything, and sometimes you don't quite understand what it is. It's always interesting.
I thought his thing with the Westboro Baptist Church that was crazy was showing. You start to feel really like the biggest victims. You know, the victims are who they go and make these families upset when they
kids.
do it. It's the kids
Kids
within
of
their
the
own
people,
group,
yeah.
because they have people going up and like throwing things at these kids on the streets, and the kids are still yelling out the God hates fags.
Well, they're
stuff,
programmed.
and they're still yelling it out, and you're like, oh man, this kid doesn't. It's like, why is this kid now the kid's crying like a kid would when he gets soda
Sure.
thrown on him, and you're like, this kid's just being told what to do. Like they think they're disrespecting their parents. If they
You know
don't
what's
do
an
it.
interesting thing? We had a chat earlier about that idea that the reason I think Louis Theroux is so fantastic as a documentary maker is because he goes and talks to people who he does not agree with.
Yeah.
And you go, in the society of sort of polarization that we live in, I think people are so hungry for going, well, no, I like the idea of someone going and talking to someone that they are diametrically opposed to, and there's a humanism to it. What's the
Yeah.
one that you were recommending to me? The Muslim woman that goes and talks to
White Pride.
White right.
White right.
so
Yeah.
that you go, yeah, fine.
I was just saying white pride.
You know, those you know, that thing of like going freedom of speech or whatever. Let those people spout their nonsense. And,
Yeah, well, there's
but at least listen to it.
when you
know?
watch that documentary, you see her kind of treat these people that usually are used to being, combated with, just
Yeah,
because
they're on
so
that frequency, but when you take them to another frequency of going,
Yeah.
so your argument is what?
Yeah, and she's great in the documentary, and she gets one guy to kind of relax, and then you see that he doesn't believe in any of it. He's just like, I don't know, man.
I just thought the haircut was cool.
Yeah, he really is kind of like, we have a drop from it where he's like, I won't break bread with a Jew.
Yeah. But it's
And then
a
you
lot of
find
it
out 6
see-
months later he's in a black church.
Yeah,
find
and
that
then,
it's a
and then
thing.
you go and hang with Jewish people and you try their bread and you go, this is delicious.
Yeah, the
this is
challah
some
bread.
tasty months.
God damn, take our savior.
bread,
yeah.
Oh,
That's good French toast right
this
there.
is good. This is good for French toast making.
What time is it? Do we have to take a break? I know we have these ad reads.
We have these ad
to do.
reads.
Do we have an ad?
We've got
We have,
a lot of
Jesus.
ads.
Should we
are
advertise
late
something? Why
for
don't we
our ad
advertise
reads.
something?
We
Let's
will
advertise a bunch of
Let's advertise
stuff.
a couple things right now.
Okay.
Jimmy, terrifying news. Do you know your teeth move as you get older?
Yes, yeah, I wear like one of those mouth guards. What do you got for me?
Well, if you want to get them fixed, the last thing you want to do is wear braces as an adult. You feel like an idiot. That's why I'm happy to tell you about Candid, the clear alternative to braces.
Oh, sorry?
Candid has an orthodontist who is licensed in your state, create a treatment plan for you, and it even has a 3D
In my
preview.
state?
Yeah. in
They
your
don't know
state.
where I live.
But if you have to
Oh
tell
yeah,
them.
no, we gave it up. We
Oh,
gave
really?
it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We collect everyone's
hang on.
information here.
They've
We're
got an
data
orthodontist.
mining.
This might be the longest ad read you ever do, but
That's fine.
They've got an orthodontist in my area, and he can do what for me?
Yeah.
He has a 3D preview of what your final results are going to look like. Candid is one of the clear braces.
A 3D preview. It sounds like he's got an app on his phone. I mean,
Yeah.
It's science.
okay.
They only use experienced orthodontists. And by the way, some of these other things use
Experienced-
dental professionals. They tell you, which
Yeah.
is in quotes.
yeah, dental professionals.
This is actual orthodontists.
I don't like it when the people do the Botox that aren't the doctors.
Yeah.
You know, in France, you've got to be a plastic surgeon, a qualified surgeon, to give someone Botox.
Really?
In America, you could be a dental assistant and do it. It's the equivalent. It's like the air hostess flying the plane.
I gotta tell you, I was thinking about
the
getting
insanity.
it. I was thinking about getting it in armpits for armpit sweat, and I
Please.
was prepared to go to.
I'll pay for it.
I was prepared to go to just like a lady in a room somewhere. I don't know why. Is it that dangerous? I shouldn't do that.
Well, I think for the armpit, I think how much could they fuck up your armpit?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a droopy
I
armpit.
know. Have you seen how
Have
young
you seen-
Jay's armpit
Have you
looks?
seen Big J? His armpits
Sexy
suck,
ass
man.
armpits.
They smell delicious now.
Well, Candid is going to create custom clear aligners that will be sent directly to you. That means you don't have any hassle of going to an orthodontist office and it costs 65% less than braces. You could save thousands of dollars and have straighter, brighter teeth in an average of just 6 months. You can learn more at candidcode.com/bonfire and use code bonfire to get $75 off.
To go to a dentist office?
Yeah, I believe
Nope.
it's Wait, no, it's
No.
sent right to your house.
This all comes to you. You get the mold sent to you. You
You
send it
make
out
the
for
mold and then
Yep.
you do the thing.
You send it off.
I just did it like at my dentist, and it was like it's not inexpensive.
Okay, yeah.
No,
This sounds like that
This
sounds
is
like
a
that
better
might be a
deal.
thing.
And $75 off is pretty great. That's candidcode.com/bonfire. Code bonfire for $75.
Okay, and it's
off.
probably what I would do that. I think it's important that you take care of your health. And in America doesn't have great health care.
We don't.
Take care of your teeth is important. If you can get past the fact a guy with really shitty teeth has just told you to do that.
Yeah.
No offense, once again.
Where we excel in America is our dental industry and our movie industry, and Sort of Trust.
Oh,
See
boom.
that? Starring Mark
Good
Maron
transition.
as cynical pawn shop owner who comes into possession of a sword that, to a network of deranged conspiracy theorists, proves the South really won the Civil War. Anchoring a hilarious ensemble of peak improv comics, Jay, some of your favorites: Jillian Bell,
Killer.
Michaela Watkins,
Beast.
John Bass, Toby Huss,
Shut up.
and Dan Bacadal.
Hassan Bacadal.
You didn't have. I was not interested until the last one.
Yeah, right?
You got me at Buckingham.
Yep, he's in. Maron gives perhaps his greatest on-screen performance to date, and what critics are always calling
Mark Maron's greatest on-screen performance
To date.
Wow.
And he's going
Now.
against Toby Huss.
Yeah, try that.
Improv
Try to
legend
steal the
Toby
ball and
Huss.
score with that. And they're saying he has one of the best
There's a lot of
monologues
hustlers in here, I think.
Yeah.
Any hustlers?
Yep, big Huss fans, Huss heads.
Any
Any
Hussers?
Where are the Hustlers at?
Yahoo-ha.
From award-winning director of Hump Day and Your Sister's Sister, and featuring an original guitar score composed and performed by Maron.
That's
Sort
pretty
of
cool.
Trust finds not only humor but real humanity.
Whoa. A guitar score composed by Maron.
And
Yeah.
played by Maron.
I'm out again.
Out.
I'm
Dude,
out. I
he
was in.
wails.
I'm out again. Is there another sentence?
He wails. Sort of Trust is in theaters now and on demand.
Okay.
With Mark Maron and director Lynn Shelton appearing at select screenings.
I think Mark Maron's one of the most interesting kind of performers and dudes that I know, because I knew him like first about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I feel there's something about his age that's so perfect.
Yep.
Like you go, he must have made no sense in his 20s.
Yeah, he just those deep
Like
irrational
zero
guy.
sense. And
He
like
didn't.
in
He
his
just looked
30s,
troubled. He looked always like troubled when
Just
he
like,
was
I
young
don't know what
comic.
he's talking about. There was always an element of get off my land.
Yes.
And now when I see him, I just go, yes, of course, you're brilliant.
Yeah.
Because everything's come into play. Like he's got older and it just suits him.
Yeah.
His mustache makes sense.
It's all
Everything.
The
Everything.
gray,
The whole look. It's
the
just
gray
you go,
excels
oh yeah,
it.
of course.
Visit sortoftrust.com for details. I think that was a good read.
Yeah, pretty good.
And
Those
then,
Go and see a movie, fix your teeth, people. Come on.
wait,
What
I,
else?
I have to do one more in the 6 o'clock hour that we're past
Okay,
now.
come on. Why not?
Are you guys ready to keep the summer heat outside and
Yep.
give your home an upgrade with brand new custom window treatments?
I thought you took it to the room. I didn't know you were going to take it to the audience.
Blind, I thought we were going to get a big whale in here. Blinds.com, they're America's #1 online choice and will keep you cool with high quality blind
I
shades
tell
and
you, if it
plantation
wasn't for blinds,
shutters.
it'd be curtains for all of us.
Yeah.
Me and Christine got shades from them. Shades, full blackout shades. You go to mine,
Shades.
it's like a vampire's
now, okay,
lair.
now what?
Throwing
the
shade.
vampire, the blackout is everything. If you can get the full blackout,
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
got the 95% blackout, and I am not happy.
Not
No,
happy.
you want the full.
I want the full. I want the full. I want it to be like a
you're protecting
sensory
yourself from a purge.
deprivation. Yeah. Yes. That is exactly it. I want
You
it
want
to be
this.
like.
You want this feeling like we're
Well,
downstairs.
because sometimes I get in, we all work late, but in the UK, if you work late nights, it's not, you don't go back to the hotel, you drive home. So if I'm in Manchester, I'll drive home 3 hours just to be home. I like
Yeah.
my own home.
Me too, I
So
get that.
thing of like, I'll drive 3-4 hours, so I'll get in at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I'll go, well, whatever time, I'll sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But if you have the blackout blinds, game changer.
Game changer.
That is the hilarious of comedy too through the years. Like when I was young in comedy, absolutely I would have done like the gig's 20 days in a row. I'd be like, perfect. And it's in a crappy hotel. That's fine. Then when you get older and you like your things in your home, it's like, how long is the gig? 4 days. It's
Yeah.
too far away from home.
Yeah.
But now my home's got blackout blinds. Boom. We're back in. They're custom designed to fit any style and budget.
They're custom designed. I mean,
They
if they
are.
weren't,
By an
what would they
orthodontist.
be?
Yeah. Generic.
I'll buy a medical professional.
They're designed for everything. You don't get to #1 without doing everything right. Blinds.com has been in business online for 23 years, which is like the beginning
You
of
don't
the
get to
internet.
#1 without doing everything right. Now, I mean, is it worth picking that apart? Because I think that's some bullshit right there.
Some guy in an ad department right now is going, just back off, car.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
They're doing everything right.
I mean, that's true.
Well,
though.
I'm just saying, I mean,
You don't have to do everything right.
Here's what we do. Whenever we start
the
talking,
Nazis were democratically elected.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. They came number one. So I'm just, sometimes. People go on about democracy being great.
they became number one by going through the right channels.
Well,
voting.
How about this? They did 3 things really well: custom design, online shopping.
And I'll tell you what, they have more than 30,000 5-star customer reviews from their award-winning. The music just kicks back in when we get back on track. They're award-winning design consultants to their 100% satisfaction guarantee. Blinds.com is with you every step of the way. Plus, every order gets a free online design consultation and free shipping. Go to Blinds.com right now and save up to 40%.
40%
Plus, you
is
save
not nothing. You know what? I think this is a terrible
Good
movie,
enough.
but there's something about that bass in the background. I'm going to buy these.
It's nice, yeah.
It's good. It just feels good.
Plus, save an extra $20 on top of that with promo code COMEDY.
I might go and watch an old episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Right now. That bass
get
is
the
insane.
It does sound like friends hanging at a restaurant music. Go to Blinds.com for up to 40% off, plus an extra $20 off of promo code COMEDY. Blinds.com, promo code COMEDY. Exclusions, rules, and restrictions may apply. Jimmy, can you hang out with us still for a little bit longer? You don't
Of
have to
course,
go, do you?
yeah.
Let's take our first break, and we'll be right back. We're hanging out at the Just for Laughs Festival. It's the Bonfire.
Packed. So packed and hot in here. Well, welcome back to the Bonfire. Le Bonfire, Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. I know. We're going to talk about it because that shit's crazy. We were playing, I'm Dan Soder, Big J. Okerson, hanging out with Jimmy Carr. We were playing Leonard Cohen, You Want It Darker. Off
So
his-
it's a record that came out like 3 days before he died, or 3 days after he died. I mean, he absolutely nailed.
Yeah.
It's got this song, and it's got a song called "I'm Leaving the Table," which is, songs about death.
Sure.
But the last couple of records that he did are the result of his manager ripping him off.
That's crazy.
So he was ripped off like maybe 10, 12 years ago, whatever. His accountant stole everything.
Fuck.
So he had nothing. Like, he thought, I'm set for life and I never have to work again.
Yeah.
I've got some of the biggest records. Oh, I don't own anything. It's all gone. And then he had to go back out on the road. And I heard a couple of people talk about it, a couple of venue managers that are in the UK that said, he came, and when he initially came, he was frail and he was old on the first tour, and he was like, could barely kind of get up on stage and do it, but he knew he had to, and he toured, and it was hard on his system. And then saw him again 2 years later, and he was like, in it. Like there was something about working that muscle that got him like
Got him right back in.
And then he was like performing the old songs. Then he went, well, I'm twiddling around and playing. And then he wrote this new stuff.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. And it's the gift of being ripped off financially.
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird thing that you go?
Well,
this
his life's
great thing-
ruined. And
Yeah.
then he kind of, rises out from it and gets
But
that muscle
it's slightly
back.
that thing of the I
Getting
watch
ripped
the
off by
Comedians in
somebody.
Cars. Do you watch the Comedians in Cars thing?
Yeah.
I watched Eddie Murphy on it, and kind of. and
Yeah,
Eddie
I just
Murphy-
watched it.
And Eddie Murphy was just going, I just like to sit around with the kids at home and stuff. And you go, I kind of wish you'd been ripped off and had no money, and you had to go and do a stand-up special, because the motive, like, there's nothing motivating him now.
Yeah.
He's done something.
And he's going to do a special, and they say he's going to do a special again.
They-
Exactly. And like, how
if he
good could it
does.
be? I'm worried because, like, exactly, he's not hungry. I
think he
rarely
might
trust.
I think he might be hungry. I think the thing that might kick in for him, I'm hoping, is the reputation, the hunger of
Yeah.
it going, I'm one of the greats. If I do something that's even mediocre, people will go, was he really all that back in the day? Will we just? It was the leather pantsuit.
Yeah, was it timing?
I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm worried it could do that, though. I'm worried that it actually could bring that kind of a thing up. Like, not
Has
after
anyone
people
messed
step
up
away.
their-
He only did comedy for a crazy short amount of time.
But it's
When
like
you talk
Guns-
about the Beatles. You know that crazy fact about the Beatles, where you know how old George Harrison was when he left the Beatles?
How old?
27.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that's just all the things. that,
You go, well, I mean,
Yeah.
good luck with that.
But I mean, even the things like The Doors, Jim Morrison dead,
Yeah.
27. It's like everyone. Like,
Yeah, but something about like you talk about coming back and kind of ruining it. They saved it, but do you remember when Guns N' Roses finally released Chinese Democracy? They were like, there was a built-up album
yeah,
of
it was
like,
at least it was like fine at
and
best.
then-
but that's the thing.
and then you came out, you're like, this sucked, and then it sucked again when they went on tour. But then when they toured with the original band, they got it back.
It was huge. It was awesome. But the thing is, exactly that. Like, I don't understand when, like, these bands that's still like. I know everybody always wants to make new music, but there's a time like Guns N' Roses couldn't possibly write enough. They can write a good song, but they can never write another classic. That classic songs come from like a hunger that you need in a certain time of life. You know what I mean? It's really.
It is interesting, like the people that can kind of keep on doing that. I always think of like someone like Elton John that just keeps on churning out. Like when you look at the discography, you go, how has he done that for that long?
Yeah, Billy Joel was like that.
Well, Billy Joel, but when was his last?
Yeah, he plays the hits, which I love.
Yeah.
Seeing him live,
But
almost
yeah, right.
never
Elton
go.
John just keeps writing.
Keeps doing it. The the Lion King is, you kind of forget the Lion King. You go Elton John, wow, he's amazing, and then you go, oh, he's the Lion King.
He's the whole Lion King soundtrack.
the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And they just did a cover of that.
Yeah,
they did a cover of the movie.
Yeah, movie.
Isn't that
cover.
weird?
Covered
Because it's
the
also
movie.
a cartoon. It's just better cartoon. It's all
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
mean-
I'm not understanding. Like, listen, I don't know. I don't want to watch a movie of a guy wearing a fucking a lion face either, like with people, I guess, in it. But it is
Like
odd.
Cats? Did you see the
It
Cats
is odd to-
trailer?
but it is odd.
Someone
to,
had a great joke about that the other night. They said
haven't
it's
seen
like a regular. Someone made a regular movie and then put a Snapchat filter on it.
Yeah, that's
one,
really
one
funny.
of, not mine. One of these new acts at
Yeah.
St. Catherine's did it, and what a great fucking joke.
Yeah, that's a great
Is that what
joke.
it looks like?
It looks fucking weird.
I think it looks great.
Really?
I think it looks great because it doesn't look like anything else I've seen. I know Tom Hooper a little bit, and I know
Okay.
Andrew pretty well. So like, I've got a dog in the race.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Not a dog in the race, a cat in the race.
Well-
but I just think it looks like nothing else I've seen. I go, that'll be something different.
Yeah.
That'll be like, that's a weird. I mean, it's a weird idea when he did it.
Yeah.
When it's based on a bunch of poems about cats.
Yeah.
People forget when the musical first came out, people went, Andrew Lloyd Webber, oh, he's lost his mind.
He goes,
here."
I have my next masterpiece.
Oh, it's about-
kitty cats.
It's a T.S. Eliot wrote a series of poems about cats, unrelated, no narrative arc. I've done a narrative about cats. Like the people that invested in that must have been like the first people to try crystal meth.
They're up for days, and they go,
this
this guy's.
I'll tell you though,
He's
Barbara
onto something.
Streisand singing "Memories" will definitely bring tears to me in the right situation.
Yeah.
I'll always thank Cats for bringing that to the world.
God love you. You've got such a lovely heart.
No,
He
yeah,
does.
come
Good old
on, what a
heart.
wonderful
I think that
song.
movie. It's a weird thing with that movie where it's a bit like Titanic. Remember Titanic before it came out? People went, "Oh, this is the most expensive movie ever. It's going to be the biggest disaster in movie history." And that's so forgotten. Once the box office comes in the
Yeah.
first weekend, people go, "It's great.
It's great.
Kind of works."
This is the best.
I don't
movie.
think Cats is going to do that.
I don't think it's gonna do
maybe.
great.
I don't know.
I would predict it's going to do the business because there's people of a certain age that will go, "That's a surefire night out." I saw that
Yeah.
on Broadway 20 years ago.
Sure.
Cost me $150. What
They
do
made
you
a
want?
sec- they-
$15?
They
I'll
made
be
a
with
second
you.
Mamma Mia movie.
Yeah.
They made a second Big Fat Greek
Actually,
Wedding.
He said the cleverest thing I've ever heard about bands getting back together. I think it was Bjorn from ABBA, because someone asked him for the millionth time, "Are ABBA ever going to get back together?" He went, "People don't want ABBA to get back together. They want to be 17 again."
That's great.
And you
What a
go-
great way of saying
You
that.
go, yeah. I mean, I remember when the Stone Roses got back together, and I was like super into it, and oh my god, it's the most amazing thing. It's Ian Brown's back together with Squire. It means so much to me. And then you heard and went, I'm still not 17 though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like it doesn't
that's a big
take
thing.
you back.
It was great. I mean, they nailed it. They were
Sure.
great, but
That's how Marilyn Manson's let me down over the years. I go there, I'm like, it's like, oh man, he looks fat and old. He goes, which must mean I'm fat
Yeah.
and old.
No.
That is the thing. You're like, wait, why am I still dressed like this?
I also, why is any of this happening? You just what an existential moment at a time where it's like, with a guy wearing a white contact and you're having an existential moment. He's like, oh, and you're like, fucking.
And
what
all
are
I
you
feel is
doing?
I'm bummed he doesn't wear I'm bummed that he's growing up and doesn't wear the contact lenses anymore. I'm like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's like the thing.
Well, that's part of getting older. Like,
who would you be most excited about getting back together? What would blow your mind?
I'm trying, like,
For me, it's the
original-
Doors. If I could have seen the Doors, and I probably would have loved that.
The one that's like still feasible that I would be the Smiths for me. If the Smiths got back
yeah.
together, I saw Johnny Marr recently. He was at Glastonbury,
Yeah.
and did This Charming Man with the Killers, and it was like that guy's just
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, did you see Ari at Glastonbury? Ari Shafir was
I
out
didn't see
there.
him. No.
and- yeah.
He introduced himself as Johnny fucking Marr.
that's pretty
That's
cool.
how cool. He just goes,
That's-
"Hi, I'm Johnny fucking Marr."
Yeah, that is pretty
yeah,
badass.
yes, you are.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
What about original Journey? He
Steve Perry,
He can't hit the high notes.
anymore. But are you saying if with all things, if you put all things right, that's a good one. That'd be a great one.
Which
Journey.
one? What the
Journey.
The original Journey.
Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
Yeah, but you
but
can't
Robert
do it
Plant
without
can't hit the
Bonham.
notes. But his son's unreal.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you could. I mean, a Led Zepp thing. I mean, that very nearly happened.
Yeah.
I heard what the money on the table for that was like.
Insane.
Someone said it was $1 billion.
Really? You get Jason Bonham playing.
But how many? I mean, if they did, I mean, how many gigs would they have to do? Not that many to get to that number.
Yeah.
Original Smashing Pumpkins, I'd like to see back together.
God, 1979.
Yeah.
They played that through. Oh. I feel like we should be in a chat room on the internet for this conversation. This feels like
just sending clips.
This is just if you're a middle-aged man going
people
through
are
a
yelling.
crisis.
People are yelling at their cars right now. And
bands they want to see.
Tweeting a ton right now. People listening live, they're telling the ones they'd want to see for sure.
I just think that one of going. If you missed that, I remember when the Pixies got back together. I thought,
I remember.
I missed them the first time around. I don't know how, but I couldn't get to Reading when they played Reading, and I was always a big Pixies guy. I always thought they were the best. I was amazed that I love Nirvana, but I was amazed Nirvana were the ones that, like, I guess because Black Francis was fat, so he wasn't a pin-up. But I always thought he was like the rock god,
the
coolest guy in the world.
Oh, I think a big one for me too. Despite Howard Stern tells me I'm supposed to hate Roger Waters for Israel stuff, but
Pink
Floyd with like both guys, Gilmore and Roger Waters back together would be pretty fucking.
I mean,
Nick Mason's out at the moment on tour
by himself.
doing the kind of the hits
and this is obviously more for me, but Queens of the Stone Age with Nick Oliveri, the original bass player.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, because he's.
I tell you what, one person in the room looked and went, yeah,
that would be pretty badass.
But
That's the
also,
original Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age without him, still pretty good.
Great.
Still
well, it's
pretty
Josh.
good. No problem
The
with
band
that.
the band is Josh. Like, I love that they've moved drummers around, like Vinny Castillo and then to John Theodore, and then they're doing a new album coming out in October with Dave Grohl and Billy Gibbons is going to be on some of the songs.
pretty awesome.
From ZZ Top.
We lucked out, me and Christine, and I was able to take her a couple years ago to see Fleetwood Mac when they did that one tour. That
Everybody.
Yeah. Christine McVie, John McVie.
That was the one that you didn't think was going to happen.
Sponsored by cocaine?
70s Coke.
Was like, it's the first tour I've ever seen that was,
They dug up Coke from the 70s.
Pablo Escobar presents.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and
The
I ruined
Tusk
some last night.
It's called the Dry Gums Tour. Just fucking them yacked out.
I wonder what the deal like that thing with podcasts now. It feels like it's the Wild West. It feels like anyone can do anything. I wonder, has anyone ever done something sponsored by
a drug?
Well, it's amazing actually how. I mean, I'm not a drug guy, but it's amazing how popular they are without because you talk to people in advertising and marketing, and they just go, well, people need to hear about products and they need to know the benefits, and we need to advertise Coca-Cola. And I tell you what, Coca-Cola, delicious drink.
Great.
I can't fault it. But drugs do so well without any of that marketing.
Not one flyer.
It's not a flyer. Not
a
even
poster.
Not even a card. They don't.
Here's how good drugs
All you need
are.
to do is give a little teensy bit for free.
And then you're hooked.
It goes in
one
there.
sample, and you're good. By the way, this is how good drugs
you
are.
know what, though? I don't know if you do because, like people would find it.
People will pay,
just go,
and they'll pay for it the first time. But if you just go to the people, if you want to be an entrepreneur,
no. I think let's. I'm going to disagree there because I think your opiate crisis.
Yes.
I mean, congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
You seem to have everyone hooked.
Yeah, we got everybody.
But the idea that you go that heroin used to be like it was always a very small niche. Heroin's doesn't kill you. People can be on it for vast amounts of time.
Sure.
It's the crime associated with it and the lifestyle that's terrible. And then the opiate crisis here, the idea that you went, what if we got doctors to give this stuff?
Yeah. And how about we got doctors that give you 25 times the pack? What's crazy about the opium epidemic is that you're talking about marketing for drugs.
Yeah,
there's like a whole thing now with fentanyl where heroin dealers are doing a thing called hot packing it, where they're putting fentanyl in their heroin. It's killing people. And that...
But
they get more customers when it kills them because then they show up and they're like, I want that.
There wasn't there where there's a how close to death can you get and not die? There's kind of a bragging rights thing.
It's like base jumping.
It's really interesting that the fake fentanyl as well coming from China now. It's an extraordinary sort of
the synthesized shit that they're like sending over, and there's like companies in China that
1,000 times more powerful than heroin. You've got to go if drug dealers are using heroin to take the edge off. You know.
There you go. Don't worry, we tampered it down with some heroin.
Did you see that thing I did for Netflix? I did a show for Netflix. Not that I want to promo.
Do it. Let it rip.
I did a show for Netflix called The Fix. So it was me, D.L. Hughley, and a girl called Catherine Ryan, and they were arguing. We're getting the audience to vote on things like trying to solve the big problems of the world.
Sure.
And we talked about the opiate crisis, and we went, really, what they should do is those drug ads should be realistic and talk about the because they talk about the downsides, but they don't. They go, might cause
headaches,
constipation,
diarrhea,
but they never go, you'll lose your teeth.
Yeah. Do you like your kids? You won't see them anymore.
Yeah, they're gone.
Government's going to take them. With drugs are so good, this is what I was trying to say, that there's commercials telling you not to take drugs.
Sponsored by the drugs.
By the drugs, yeah. They're like,
I love that. I love that the cigarette companies pay for those ads. They work in the sense they make me change the channel. I haven't quit smoking from them, but it's like they have the scenarios where a kid walks into a convenience store.
Yeah.
It's like, a pack of cigarettes, please.
Tears out his teeth.
And they go, pay up, and he takes out like pliers and rips his fucking teeth out of his head, and like, because cigarettes cost more than just money is the commercial. But then it says at the bottom, sponsored by Philip Morris, like paid for by Philip Morris. It's the tobacco companies pay for these horrible
Maybe they
things.
just go, yeah, we got so much money, people.
That's what it
I'll
is.
show you. Have you seen the one in the UK now? There's a new ad in the UK which got a lot. It was very controversial, which is it just basically says obesity causes more cancer than smoking. And it's like, and a lot of people kind of came out and went, you're fat shaming people and that's disgraceful and you can't do that. And they went, no, we're the British Heart Foundation, or we're the Cancer UK.
Yeah.
No, if you're overweight, you're going to get cancer and die.
Yeah, and
Like, we're really kind of quite hard nosed about it, going, no, it's not. It's not like being happy and fat. No, you'll get cancer and die.
I feel in
Stop
America, we would immediately fold and we'd be like, we're so sorry. We were sponsored by Country Buffet. They wanted us to get the message out. We were just wanted you guys to go eat. We were just trying to herd you fatzos to the fucking buffet line.
That's a great statistic to find out. So I should continue to try to lose weight.
You look great.
And not worry about smoking
What do you
cigarettes.
mean you look great?
He always thinks he's still fat.
What have you got body dysmorphia on his behalf?
Yeah, because he's infected me with it.
How are you looking at him and think you look great?
Because he does. He's lost a lot of weight. But
I mean,
I've known him for a while.
what are you? Yeah, but you're judging it by the wrong bar.
It's working. Shut up,
Compared
Jimmy.
to a regular human. Jay, you need to get yourself in shape. I love you, but you need to lose like a lot of weight.
You know what, baby? You're good. Do you want some chocolate? I'm an American mom.
You need to give up smoking and you need to lose weight, because it's
Sure.
something of like there's a cutoff point in life where you go, actually long term.
Yeah.
I was Neil Brennan had a really interesting point on it where he was saying most of the people we know that have died because they ate badly. Rather than drugs and alcohol.
Sure.
In our kind of generation of comics, it's like, I don't know a lot of people that have died. He did a bunch of drugs and stuff. It's mainly
Patrice wasn't drugs at all.
Yeah.
No drugs. Patrice just big.
well, whatever they're putting in the crust of that pizza.
Yeah, that got
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
You're right.
Geraldo, that was drugs.
Yeah, Geraldo.
He's the only one where you go, that was drugs. But then Mike DiStefano was heart attack.
And yeah, he was like a heavy guy, heavy in the middle.
Yeah,
the worst kind.
William Stevenson, heart attack.
William Stevens had a heart attack. Yeah.
It's also that thing of like, who had Keith had the stroke, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you go, that's kind of. I mean, he's
That gets scary as shit.
Well, yeah.
Robert Kelly next year.
He's got a death pool.
Hey, dude, you the year after.
Me the year after. But that's more
Don't
sadness.
you put that on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky
That was
Bobby.
sadness.
Bobby Kelly's got the best bit about. I think the best bit I've heard anyone do about being fat, where he talks to another fat guy in the audience and goes, "How many are you on now?
Yeah.
Like,
How many fats are you on?
How many fats are you on? Because he's lost it, put it back on, lost it, put it back on." He talks about. Do you remember that routine he did about hiding the sweets in the cupboards?
Yeah. He's
He
like a
goes,
heroin
"Oh,
addict.
You hid the candy in the top, behind the thing, like I'm really. That's going to stop me.
Yeah. He talks about his wife sucking on one Hershey Kiss, and it's like, that's a thing where it's a different generational thing. Because '80s, all the comics died of coke overdoses. '90s, I was joking around about Keith, where he's like, "Your generation doesn't have any Me Too's," and I go, "Yeah, because we watched you guys sexually harass all the waitresses." We're like, "We're not going to do that. You got to we got to work with these people."
Do you remember, he's dead now, but Craig Glazer, he had a thing that the waitresses had to sign at his Stanford and Sons Comedy Club that they wouldn't get upset if they always put it up by the comics, like you're in an environment where the comics might squeeze your ass or grab your ass or objectify you, and then he just had him sign that they wouldn't get mad or sue. So then the comics would be there as most normal people are and just polite to the staff, and if there's a flirtation, there's a flirtation, but none of that. And then he would just, every girl staff member, like jam his hand down like the front of their pants or whatever and squeeze tits, and it was insane to watch him do that. And he got girls to sign that letter.
That's crazy.
And
I
we'd
didn't
be like, do you care that he does that to you? And she goes, the girls would be like, yeah, but it's like,
who
we
is this
signed
guy?
the thing.
He's dead. He owned a comedy club in Kansas City, Missouri, called Stanford and Sons.
Kansas
City, Kansas. I apologize. Shout out Missouri, keeping it classy. But yeah, he owned a comedy club, and he had this web series we watched called A Man and His Dog, where he just bragged about all the women he bedded while his dog sat there.
That guy did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he also spent.
I've just.
Oh, let me see that picture. That's a great picture.
What a great. That's him. That's a picture of him. Yeah, you could show the 7 people. You could just do it like a children's reading book.
He would do that to someone who he just met.
Yeah.
I have one of my favorite stories with him was a girl.
Maybe he's from Quantum Leap. Yeah. Because you always imagine the guy from Quantum Leap kind of he's from this time.
Yeah.
And he's going back. But maybe the Quantum Leap guy is from the 16th century.
Yeah.
And he's going, yes, women, yes, the property.
Conquer them.
He got that little square thing from Attila the Hun, and he's just going around being like, that woman's mine.
My favorite quote, I think, of all time is that William Gibson. You know William Gibson, the sci-fi writer? And he said the future is here, but it's not evenly distributed.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, well, around the world, that sort of behavior now, it's like almost like, I don't know how many years ago that was, but like 15 years ago, and you're kind of going, he's got women to sign a waiver that said they could be goosed at work. Okay, that sounds very strange.
Yeah.
And we can't imagine that now.
He was covering his ass so well.
So
for
well.
what was coming up.
But you sort of go, well, that's going on right now, but in different cultures around the world. Like,
it's crazy you say that, because all I could think about during the Me Too era was like Saudi Arabia, just going like, what? Or like Iran. They're like, what? What do you care about your women doing what? Shut up. We're to stone them to death.
I mean, my thing is like, at some stage, like everything, so I'm a big fan of that Steven Pinker guy.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that wrote Enlightenment Now, and he's sort of saying, his whole premise is, everything's better now than it has ever been in human history. There's less violence against women now than there's ever been. And then that sounds like you're going, hey, it's not a problem, guys.
Yeah.
It's a massive problem.
Sure.
But it's less of a problem here than it's ever been in the past. And it feels like, with kind of Trump and Brexit and stuff, it feels like we've kind of taken a step back. But on the trajectory of the curve, it's getting better. But then you look, so you go, well, there's going to be gay marriage in Saudi Arabia, but when's that going to be? Is it going to be 4,000 years time or 100 years time? And I think the great accelerator is the internet.
Yeah,
it's like you go, because I remember people used to talk about, well, we should drop a bunch of leaflets, and you go, no, we've sort of done that. The internet is like unstoppable.
Yeah, it is.
They can see our lifestyle and kind of go, oh, maybe I want a piece of that.
Yeah, it was. That's kind of like like black people getting shot by cops in America. Everyone's like, black people would be like, yeah, they shoot us all the time. White people are like, no, they don't. And then all these Facebook Live videos are coming out. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just like every week, you're like, oh fuck. And then but then you get into the whole thing of media distortion.
I find it very odd, like the Black Lives Matter thing. Speaking as someone that kind of I watch from the UK and kind of around the world, but I don't spend that much time in America. And you kind of watch it and you go, it's a huge deal. And the way the media works, and you go, it's a huge deal for what, a year, 2 years. It never stops.
Yeah.
It's like in any given year, that could be as big a story. And some years they just go, it's not that big a story.
Well, it's not, because depending on what else is going on.
American media is very good at like the second a stove is open to take one of an old thing off the back and be like, let's heat this back up. This is a fucking thing again.
What I think's crazy is the hyping up of things that go away so fast, where you're like, oh, they present it like this is life now. Ebola. When that was going around again, and whatever, a couple of years ago,
that's just a 24-hour thing.
It was just like, where they were like Ebola everywhere. It was like, holy shit, everyone, Ebola's here. It's like, don't eat at a restaurant.
You know what?
Ever.
The biggest example of that is the lack of fear that we have for nuclear proliferation.
Yeah,
like we have zero fear. Like there's a generation of people that are not in any way scared, and we've never been closer to it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, even this stuff with Iran and like the way they're blocking the ships, the UK ships, and you're like,
we're not going to get. No one's going to call us and go, "Hey, we're thinking of launching."
Yeah, this is going to launch.
All we're going to hear is a bang.
I do want some time so I can buy some cigarettes.
You just want to know it's coming. He hasn't smoked in a long time.
I haven't smoked in 6 years. The second those missiles go in the air, I'm going to buy a pack of cigarettes, and I'm smoking.
Wow. Of course.
Not me. I'm going to start preparing my superhero costume for my powers.
Here's the weird unintended consequence of that kind of bullshit happening.
Yeah.
Global cooling.
Oh.
Because the ultimate cure for this, another thing we did on the fix was the global warming. How do you fix it? And you set up a volcano.
So that the ash cloud cools the atmosphere.
When Krakatoa went off,
the
ash cloud was so huge that Earth cooled by 2 degrees. There was no summer in Europe the next year. So
perfect.
You could...
That would fix this room.
Could Can we let a volcano go right now?
Yeah. Oh my God, Mount Suvius. Please.
Let some lava out. Well, there's apparently a giant volcano under Yosemite, which they always say if that does it, it'll wipe out like 80% of the landmass in North America.
Yeah,
Good,
and
good.
life on Earth. It'll take a lot of life on Earth out, I would imagine.
Yeah, but it's cooler.
But
Much
no
cooler.
one knows.
I don't know.
If
I
New
New
York's
York's
for
all right.
sure.
I'm smoking cigarettes in a
Do you know
cool
what?
down
I
environment.
can't help feeling that, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to put all my money on this, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, surely him and Bruce Willis, I can't imagine they can't solve that.
And Jason Statham? I think we got
Jason Statham, I mean, it's not going to be easy. I think they're going to need some help with some other drivers.
Vin Diesel.
We call him up.
Of course will be involved.
Hologram. What's his name? The other kid, Brian Walker.
Oh, yeah, Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Gone but not
Brian
forgotten.
Walker, we'll always remember you.
Brian Walker. I hope Paul Walker's daughter's listening to the show, punching the steering wheel. Knowing
Yeah.
You think she's driving already?
Brian-
I think she's
You
drifting.
think she hopped behind the wheel
Brian
already?
Walker, never forget.
Yeah, never forget.
Yeah. Is she driving now? She's drifting.
Yeah. She's
drifting to school.
She's Tokyo drifting to school.
Yeah. You go,
Could you name? Is there anyone that can name all of those movies? I think
no, you get
I
lost.
think it's a different generation, but I think I can do Police Academy. But those movies, I've seen a few of them. Like, you know that weird thing when you're on tour and you go, I'm gonna go to the movies because watching a movie in my hotel room seems lame.
Yeah.
And like I wasted the day. But if
Sure.
I go to the cinema and pay $15 for Diet Coke and some popcorn.
You're out and about.
Oh yeah,
You've done
what did you
something.
do? I achieved.
Yeah.
I'm killing it.
Can I name? I can only do
I know
like,
Fast and Furious, and then it was Too Fast, Too Furious.
Sure.
And then Tokyo Drift, and then I don't know.
Tokyo.
I thought Tokyo Drift was 2, but it was 3.
It was 3, I think.
And then they're doing. Did you just look it up on your phone?
There was
you look it up?
Faster and Furious.
What do you mean?
Christine's
What do you
looking
mean?
it
Did I
up.
want you to? Well, fucking clearly. I mean, I feel like you're not even in this. I don't think we should pay him.
Well, he's out. He's the first person out, and he delivered a lot of great pins. So it's going to suck to fire him from our crew. Yeah,
You sure?
let's do
Sure.
it.
I want to hear them.
We'll
'Cause I
repeat
don't
them
think
as you say 'em so
I
the
don't-
people at home
I'm
can
trying to
hear
think what I've seen in this series.
The Fast and the Furious.
The Fast and the Furious is number 1.
Sure.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Big J got that.
Tokyo Drift, but there's one like before it called Turbocharged, which is a spin-off or something.
It's a short.
It's a short.
I don't know. Probably.
It's a short.
It's a
Oh,
short-
there it is.
Brad Williams is in it.
Yeah.
Furious again.
It's just called Fast and
It's called
Furious.
Fast and
No
Furious. No the.
Big. That's big.
Sorry, they just re-released. Because here's my idea, guys. I think we can make a bunch of money here. I genuinely think we can make $100 million.
It's a small room, so everyone in here is a basement
Everyone's
investor.
in, right? Everyone's
you guys are
in.
all in basement
Okay,
investors.
It's a sequel to Groundhog Day.
Great.
We do a new poster.
Okay.
We re-release Groundhog Day.
That is so smart. From a marketing standpoint, it's
That's it. We
brilliant.
re-release it, and then we're ready. Like if people go to the cinema and they go, "Hey, that's not an old movie. That's the original Groundhog Day." We go, "Yeah, you can have your money back.
Yeah, great.
Have your money. Have your money back. If you left in the first 10 minutes, have your money back. If
Yeah.
you watched all the way through, thank you for your $15.
Yeah.
And goodbye."
And you know
I don't
what? You
think
take
that's
all
a
the
bad idea.
and here's the best part: you just take all the marketing money and you give that to Bill Murray for him to go do press for it, and people
It's
go
a
see the
great movie. Yeah, we wanted to recapture the original.
Yes.
And I really think we did it.
Yeah, I mean, we got everyone back.
Where you show Memento forward.
Oh yeah, show
show
momentum
Memento
forward is great.
Has someone done the Memento? I'm sure it's on the DVD.
It's on the
Chris.
DVD.
But has someone done the Memento in the right order?
Yeah, on the DVD it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it any
You
good,
can
or is
watch it in the
boring?
right order.
It actually it makes the movie a lot less exciting. The way that it was done was perfect.
I mean, okay, sorry, back to Fast and Furious.
So
What else you
we
got?
left off at just regular Fast and Furious.
Yeah, another.
Although the goal of those.
we were upset about it.
How short was the ideas meeting for Fast and Furious 5, Fast and Furious? Where they
Yeah.
just went, so what are we going to call the new Fast and Furious movie?
You go, tire
You got
screech.
it. Got it. You got it already.
You got it.
Just that.
We cut the.
Okay, go on. What else you got?
There's another spin-off just called Los Banderos.
Yeah, of course.
A little bit racist, my friend, but
A little
okay,
bit,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Fast 5, then Fast and Furious 6.
Fast 5, okay. I can see that sounds good. 6.
Yeah,
6 they called what?
Fast and Furious 6.
Okay.
Okay, another short ideas meeting.
Yeah, that was in and out.
The next one they cut out more shit. It's just Furious 7.
Okay.
The Furious 7, okay.
No,
so,
Furious.
but I
Furious
get the
7.
idea of
Furious
it. Okay.
7.
Then Fate of the Furious with the 8 inside.
That's
Right,
great. That's
right.
just
Fate.
good fucking work. That was a good
Okay.
meeting. They left the
I
heads
think
held high.
do you know
that
what?
day.
They only made 7 to get to that.
Yeah, they were like, I got an idea. Long game.
Well,
Real
yeah.
long game.
If There's
Okay,
there's
and
a
then eight. So there's 8 so far.
There's 8, 9, and 10. They announced them. It's just Fast and Furious 9, Fast and Furious 10.
Okay,
And then there's the
genuinely,
Shabs and
they
Hall.
could re-release
Yeah.
3 and 4 again as 8 and 9, and would anyone care?
No.
Nobody would know.
No one would know.
I think you're solving the movie industry's need to reboot everything.
Someone
we just
told
start
me-
out letting out the
You ever
real
seen
movies.
The Italian Job, is that a huge movie here?
Yeah.
Someone told me a story. I heard
What
a-
movie?
The Mark Wahlberg remake.
No,
Is that
I
the one
heard
we're
a-
talking about?
I heard a story from Michael Clang about the idea for the Italian Job. So they made the Italian Job, the movie, and the reason the Italian Job has that ending, is because at the time you had to put scripts through the censor in Great Britain, and you couldn't show thieves getting away with a crime.
Okay.
So the reason it ends on the cliffhanger with them going off the thing and it just ends there is because they couldn't show them driving off into the sunset with the gold. They couldn't. That was
That's such a distinctly different thing from the UK and the US, where the US is like bad guys win sometimes if they're nice.
Not back then. I mean, it really was the 1970s before any bad guys win in a movie.
Okay, yeah,
It,
before the
really didn't
anti-hero.
happen.
Yeah.
So that was it. So the idea for the sequel was there was going to be a car chase movie, and it was going to be they were in British cars, British sports cars, and the Italian mafia were in Italian sports cars, and they raced through France back to Britain with the gold in the cars.
Great.
And Michael Caine said he saw the poster. So the movie didn't do well in North America. It did amazingly well in the UK, but in North America, the poster was him and 2 hot chicks. If you look at the original movie poster of that thing, if you Google it, it's like him with 2 hot chicks, and it came out at the time when America there was no porn, so people were watching skin flicks.
Yeah.
And it looked like a poster for a skin flick.
That's great.
And it wasn't a family movie, so it didn't open big. People went, I think it's just going to be some naked ladies. The Italian Job sounds like, well, I guess it's a hand job. Or maybe she uses her mouth. I don't know what an Italian job is, but
That's a hand job with marinara.
which is as a bigger guy, I imagine your fantasy.
Oh, sure. I'll use anything as a lube.
A good gravy.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking like an oil base?
Is this tomato base? Yeah. We made up for it by we remade the Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that was
Great job.
That was pretty bad.
The Italian Job.
I'm in a car. Now I'm in a small car.
That's a very good.
We do Mark Wahlberg surprised by Transformers on this show.
You see these fucking cars? They're fucking robots out there.
They're really robots. We have him going into his bar.
That's joyful. I just want more of that.
Yeah.
Let's not skirt over this. Let's do this to death.
We have him going into his bar in South Boston, being like, these robots, they're turning into cars, and then the cars are robots, and like, fuck you,
Fuck you, Mac.
leave, Mac, you
Fuck off, Mac.
you Hollywood queer.
Oh, I swear to God, it was a fucking Corvette.
I said, no, then it turned into
a goddamn robot.
Do you remember that Volkswagen? Now it's a robot. You gotta listen to me. Why aren't you listening to me? I could have stopped 9/11. You know, he said that in an interview.
What?
Mark Wahlberg said he could have stopped 9/11 if he was on that plane. Swear to God, look it up.
If he's on that plane,
He goes, if I was
what
on
would he
that
have done?
flight.
Crashed it into the other 2 planes?
I don't know. I don't know. He was pretty confident. He was pretty confident in that interview.
He started.
Wow.
He thinks he would have talked to the plane and turned into a robot.
He goes, I need you to turn right now. Do you know Optimus Prime?
I'm not fucking kidding. Tell him right now.
Optimus Prime is a friend of mine. You got to turn into a regular robot and drop into the sea.
Yeah, he said he could have kicked that. I mean, I don't know.
The 9/11 thing as well. It's like I don't think that ever gets the. I think a lot of people have that fantasy. A lot of
Of
people have
stopping
that
it?
fantasy about like,
course.
oh, if I was in the 1930s, if I was in Nazi Germany, I would have been the hero. But statistically, you wouldn't have been. You know, it's like it's
Statistically, you would have gotten in the same line to go to your death as everybody else.
Let me tell you exactly who I would have been in 9/11 had I decided to try to be a hero on that flight.
Yeah.
I would have got up and I would have gone, wait, and then it would slash me with the box cutter and I would go, and I'd be that guy who bled out on a fucking, on a lady where I'm like, and she's like, why did you try to do anything? I was like,
It's one of those things as well. Where
Wait.
what have you got? What have you found?
This is Christine brought over the actual quote about Mark Wahlberg saying it's great. It's great.
Okay, can I have it in the voice, please?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta do it Mark Wahlberg voice.
If I was on the plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. Wahlberg says, presumably while making the face where he looks both confused and slightly
I don't
angry.
think he meant any ill, disrespect to the poor people that died on those planes. But
I don't think so.
It's so I mean, you have to have come direct from the gym to have said that.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel that way sometimes when I walk out of a Mark Wahlberg movie.
Yeah, that's why that's what he gets. He rubs off on you.
Sorry,
Wahlberg.
Al-Qaeda, I'll take them all on.
Yeah.
Can I say, Wahlberg added, there would have been a lot of blood in that first-class cabin, and then me saying,
You know what
okay,
that
we're
was?
going to go land somewhere safely, don't worry.
Dude.
That's crazy.
That's
I mean, that's
crazy.
bonkers.
That's a child's fantasy. He goes, and then my mommy comes in and she says I'm a good boy and that she's going to marry my daddy again and that my bad grades
and by that
didn't
time-
make him sad.
That is exactly as plausible as Ted.
Yeah, it really is. Well, he thought Ted was real. He goes, am I really going to be friends with the teddy bear?
And I always
you guys
got,
get a
I got
teddy bear from
hairspray.
life?
I always got a lighted hairspray in my bag so I can make a blowtorch.
You know I have a 12-inch dick? And I was a porn star named Dirk Diggler? Dude, that's crazy. That's
That is
crazy
really-
to
that's-
say that you would stop 9/11.
Well,
You know, the thing was he was supposed to be on the plane.
yeah.
Well, that's the
So
thing
that's the
with
only way he
Ted,
said
isn't
it. So
That's
he said
the-
that he was supposed to. He
Well,
was
Seth
supposed- he had a
MacFarlane was
flight
supposed to be on that flight.
Well, Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be on one of the flights that I think the one that hit into.
The one that left
Tower
Boston.
2.
Sorry, can I just clarify? Mark Wahlberg has never had any affiliation with Osama bin Laden.
Never.
And when we say he was meant to be on the flight, he was traveling commercially on the flight. He was not involved in
Everyone,
We have to make that
I
absolutely
must-
clear.
Yeah, he
because
turns out he
I
pussed
think we're
out.
actually
Yeah.
throwing
He goes,
shade on a flying
Everyone,
actor.
we're down at hijacker. Mark Wahlberg bailed at the last second. Thank God, because there would have been a lot of blood on that first cabin.
Steve Khabib, you're going alone.
He goes, guys, Ahmed, you're going to be mad. Your point guy is down. We
Mark
lost
Wahlberg apparently overslept.
I
We
think
lost
it's a weird-
basketball diaries.
It's a weird. It is a weird thing that, like, the conspiracy theories and what people think they would have done in those scenarios.
Oh, dude, it's great. I got robbed at gunpoint because I lived with a drug dealer in 2004. And I always, for maybe like 3 years after that, would hear a Prodigy song, Smack My Bitch Up. And I would fantasize how I would have taken out the guy that put the gun on me, you know? And like the shit I would have said, where I'd be like, is that all you know? I would have gotten killed if I tried
Just
to do
grabbing
that.
the, yeah.
If I would have
Some kind
grabbed
of a
his wrist
grab.
and bent it, yeah. And it was in my head where I was like, oh, okay. And he's coming up the steps, you know?
Dude,
and then
this
I
is
just-
the whitest fucking thing ever that's happened in your life.
And then I fucking...
Practicing defeating burglars that already robbed you
Yeah,
and treat you like a lady, and then you practice fight them.
Yeah, and I have him coming up the stairs, and I'm like, not today. And as he pulls the gun
You
out,
just broke into the wrong drug dealer's house, motherfucker.
yeah, and it's probably like a jump kick that starts with him on the chest, and I ride him down the
That's
stairs.
quite a common thing that the fantasy of saving someone is very common psychologically. The idea of being the hero, like almost going, like walking past a canal. Oh yeah, slightly disappointed. There's no children have fallen in. I totally could have saved them. I'm not even wearing my good shoes.
Yeah.
I would have been fine.
I saw a video of a police officer pull a dog out of a river, and I was like, I would do that. I want to do that right now.
You know what clips never get as many hits? The ones where they don't make it.
Yeah, those are tough ones.
Because there's a lot of those, like the guy that, like, there was a family of an awful story recently where the dog was drowning, and then the three guys went in after. Oh, not great.
Yeah, didn't end up
Not
well.
great. Yeah.
When I was a
Lot to be said for not being a hero.
when I was a
My hero fantasy was much more low level and local. It was more like a super hot deaf chick that I can take care of, and then she'll fall in love with me.
and that's what it was.
That was my hero. I was like, I'll treat you like a person, and not some invalid idiot.
A super hot deaf chick.
I know, almost sounds impossible.
At the end,
I would have gone for blind if I mean.
Yeah, well, anything.
The
Blind
the
will work too.
blind are
but
not
Jay,
as fussy.
did you want her to the whole time to go, Jay, I've been listening the whole time,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
love you.
Yes. That's what I want. And
That's heartfelt.
They're like, thank you for making people
Hey.
not make fun of my voice.
If there are any deaf people listening to this, gotcha.
Liar! You fucking liar! We just caught you. You owe your family money back.
I don't know if families have to pay deaf
I don't know.
people.
Well, they got to take care of them, right?
I don't know what your system is, but I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
that's not
In
it.
Colorado, we usually just put them down.
What do you make of the
we go.
What do you make of the 9/11 conspiracy?
That it was an inside job? Well, it's totally
Well, I
true.
mean,
No, I watched.
I find the lunacy of that, like, I quite like conspiracy theories. They used to be like a guilty pleasure.
Sure.
I'd quite like kind of going down that rabbit hole and going, oh, because it kind of explains everything. But you go, those things that like, that when things happen that you go, no one was ready for this. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It almost feels like when 9/11 happened, it was like we were the Incas when the conquistadors.
Yeah, when they just came over
that
that
story with the when the ships arrived.
When
they
Cortez showed up,
like
they were
they just walked up the beaches and started killing them. And there's a story about I think 4 conquistadors killing 3,000 people.
Well, they also said the
they were on
metal
horseback and they had no idea what happened.
They didn't know what horses were because horses weren't native to North America, to South America, Central America, and also they had like iron on. They had like iron.
Yeah,
I just think it's fun.
thought
Whenever they
gods.
talk to like scientists, the reason the loudest people are the ones going, "What about?" and "What about?" and then they always just kind of go to scientists, and the scientists go, "Sure." Believe me, it's like here's the reality, and then sure, go believe that like George W. Bush was putting C4 clay bombs all over a thing.
There's a great guy in the UK called Robin Ince who does this. He's got a podcast called Infinite Monkey Cage, which is fantastic on science. This guy Brian Cox and him, and he tweeted this thing about the moon landings.
Yeah,
and he said either man landed on the moon 50 years ago, incredible, or 375,000 people managed to keep the same secret. I don't know which one's more impressive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a really
You're like, you either made it to the moon or you orchestrated people to the greatest team.
Incredible. Or 375,000 people managed to keep the same secret. I don't know which one's more impressive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a really
You're like, you either made it to the moon or you orchestrated people to the greatest team building exercise of all time.
Like my favorite thing is the UFOs one, where you go, people really believe in UFOs, and you go, there was a Cold War going on where we were against the Russians and developing military aircraft. Do you really think drones came out 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Do you really believe the first drones were 10 years ago and Best Buy were the first thing to get them? And, and the American military went to Best Buy and went, sorry, you got drones. Can we get some of those?
Can we put a gun on
that?
We're
super busy in Afghanistan.
All we have is pew-pew guns. How did you guys get those? Just the military's done. We just fucking, what did you guys?
I've been using this to look at my neighbor's pool.
Guys, I don't want you to, in the Pentagon, they go, I don't want you guys to shit, but I went to Radio Shack. And they got fucking flying robots, dude.
But
there's a documentary called
51. They're keeping aliens in there. No, they're keeping weapons in there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's the documentary on Netflix called Unacknowledged, and it's kind of a rough watch after like an hour because they start repeating it. But the guy says like alien technology was then taken by the U.S. government and developed, and we have UFOs and we know all that shit.
I love that the response.
Like my friend's dad was one of them.
Yeah.
What's he called? Jimmy Goldsmith. And they basically kind of were crazy business dudes, and they kind of like with no scruples at all, and just went, yeah. So the first ever one was they bought this a company that was an orchard, like a beautiful big orchard owned by the family. They raised some money on the stock market.
Sure.
The guys bought 51% of it and went, yeah, we're going to cut down all the trees and build houses. And the family went, well, you can't do that to family business. And they went, fuck you.
Really?
It's like, and then they just basically repeated it 1,000 times.
What? That is nuts. I love cutthroat business stuff like that.
But it's all like those guys from the Second World War when they came back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, something else.
Yeah, well, sometimes to make a great company, you just got to break your competitors. And Boll and Branch are feeling really flattered. Because ever since their family business became the industry leader with the most comfortable sheets, they've seen a lot of imitators making similar promises and even repeating words from their ads.
They get softer over time, dude. That's the sell.
Boll and Branch cotton. Start out soft and just keep getting softer. $1,000 sheets for a couple $100, and the only sheets loved by hundreds of thousands of Americans.
What do you mean $1,000 sheets for a couple $100? That makes no sense
at all.
$1,000 sheets have to cost $1,000. That is their defining characteristic.
Well, Jimmy, how about this math? 97% of customers surveyed said they sleep better on Boll and Branch, but you won't find them in a big box store because they're not there. Because starting this summer,
I go to a big box store.
How about this?
Well, I can't find them. I'm looking for them.
This summer, you get 100 nights to try them. Shipping's free, and right now you get $50
all the things you can do on
off.
100 nights on sheets before you send them back.
I would send them back like a poppadom.
Well, you can, You get your first set of sheets at bowlandbranch.com with the promo code Bonfire. $50 off with that promo code. Spelled BOLL and branch.com. Promo code
So they're
Bonfire.
$950 a sheet.
Yes.
You should send them back, the sheets, whatever's on them, just wrapped around a VHS tape of what you did to those sheets. Then they also have to find a VCR
Yeah, and
to
then
play
set it up to a TV. There's no way they have a UV
Find
adapter.
a tube TV. It's got the three,
Just
the
write
red.
The Ring.
Yeah.
VHS.
bowlandbranch.com. Promo code Bonfire.
Jimmy Carr,
Jimmy
thank
Carr,
you so
thank
much for
you.
hanging
Wow.
out
I
with
love
us, man.
hanging with you guys.
Dang.
Amazing to have you here.
We could have kept going.
I think
Jimmy Carr, hilarious. Check him out at Jimmy Carr on social media.
Oh, no, don't bother.
Okay.
Yeah, well, listen to more podcasts. Go,
Yeah.
go and read a book.
Go read a book. We love you guys. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. You're all hired.
You're all hired. You
Welcome
can
to
come
the
back
staff.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, I think double the people.
Yeah, we're going to be here tomorrow night. Same room,
We're gonna
same
promote
time.
better. We're
We
gonna
love
promote better.
Bonfire live from the Montreal Just for Laughs Comedy Festival.
We love you, Luz. Jacob back in the studio.
Sorry your mom
Black
lied to
Lou.
you about Billy the Kid
Sorry, dude.
or Jesse James.
Black Lou, DJ Lou. Christine's here. We'll be back tomorrow live from Just pour rire.
Yeah,
It's the
there it
Bonfire.
is. Yeah.